Chapter 153. With Lu Chen's reaction, how could he not notice the halo of the heavenly flame pillar under his feet? The Grim Reaper thought that he was attracting Lu Chen's attention, but he did not know that Lu Chen wanted to test the power of the heavenly flame pillar. The energy of the 72 heavenly flame pillars might have come from the mythical beast of the celestial mountain. Since he was here, he might as well give it a try. No matter if the heavenly flame pillar's damage was 10,000 or higher, he had Xiaomin's protection. 1 second was enough for him to react. Reality proved that the heavenly flame pillar's damage was fixed at 10,000 points. He had 28,000 HP, so he could last for 2 seconds. With Xiaomin's life-saving effect, he could last for 3 seconds. If he had 1 second to react before the heavenly flame pillar appeared, the heavenly flame pillar would not be much of a threat to him in 4 seconds. That was why Lu Chen said, "The heavenly flame pillar is just SOSO." When he looked at Lu Chen again, the Grim Reaper's face was ashen. After being burned by the heavenly flame pillar for 3 seconds, Nameless still had more HP than him. What else could he do other than feel fear? Lu Chen shrugged at the Grim Reaper. "It's about time. I should take the last 200,000 HP. Rapid movement. Tiger descends the mountain." The Grim Reaper could not react at all. A bunch of numbers floated above his head. 18 times of damage, including a large number of critical hits, poison effects, silence, and speed reduction. In an instant, the Grim Reaper's HP bar disappeared. Lu Chen's AoE damage had reached 1600. Not to mention the single target damage, he had directly dealt 9,000 plus damage, and the 2 Grim Reapers were instantly killed. Ironically, on the stage, those who were showing off had already become corpses. The only person standing now was the person who had been the quietest. Even if the PK was over, everyone's eyes were still locked on him. His every move was the focus of attention. Lu Chen walked in front of the mask. With the tip of his sword, he lifted the mask and it fell into his hand. His movements were elegant and skillful. Checking the PK results, Lu Chen nodded in satisfaction. Today's harvest was not bad. Step by step, Lu Chen walked to the edge of the stage and stopped beside Lu Yi and Little Mei. Lu Chen looked at Lu Yi, who was in a daze. "Why are you still standing there?" Lu Yi raised her head. If it weren't for this face and this tone that she was too familiar with, she wouldn't have believed that this person was her brother. You lied to me. Didn't you say it was just for fun?" "All right. The last time I was poisoned to death in the wild, was it you?" Lu Chen suddenly felt guilty. "You, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I poison you? It must be you. Who else but you could poison so much blood? It really wasn't me. It was purely an accident. I didn't do it on purpose. All right, it really was you." Lu Yi walked over angrily and grabbed her brother's arm. "Humph." However, Lu Yi snorted angrily and leaned on her brother's arm. She sobbed and said, "Brother, you almost scared me to death just now." Lu Chen patted Lu Yi's head. "All right, I told you not to worry." Jun and Little Mei looked at Nameless and seemed a little nervous. This was the legendary god of war Nameless. He was actually Lu Yi's brother. And now he was standing beside them. Even if Jun was a member of Wild Waves, he used to only look at the leader from afar. Lu Yi finally wiped her tears. After she calmed down, she didn't forget to pinch Lu Chen. "I told you not to tell me." Lu Chen smiled. His sister was still sensible and didn't blame him. "Leader." Jun greeted Lu Chen nervously. I just said that I wanted to help you." It was a bit like showing off in front of an expert. Lu Chen smiled at Jun and his sister. "It's fine. Oh right, Little Mei, you and Lu Yi can join Wild Waves in the future." Little Mei was a little flattered. Can I? My skills aren't as good as Yi's. I didn't even join the main team just now." "Of course you can. You're Yi's good friend, so you're my friend. Although Wild Waves isn't a professional team, it's developing quite well. At least you'll be happier there. Besides, isn't your brother there too?" After saying that, Lu Chen directly sent out an invitation to join the guild. Nameless directly sent out an invitation to join the guild. Other than the other 4 people who signed for Wild Waves, no one else would receive such treatment. Little Mei excitedly left Soaring Dragon and accepted Lu Chen's invitation. Soaring Dragon, Soaring Dragon, Old Lu, Winchim, Little Ming, and the others who had been standing high up on the rostrum rushed to the side. Seeing Warsky and the others coming over, Lu Chen smiled and said, "Sorry, I'm poaching you too." "Mr. Nameless, what are you talking about?" Old Lu hurriedly said, "That we're here to apologize. We didn't know before." Lu Chen raised his hand. "It's normal. I should be thanking you. I've always hoped that Yi could train and improve herself. I'm very satisfied with her performance today." Although Soaring Dragon's management had never valued Lu Yi, they still followed the rules. From the fairness of the competition, it could be seen that in Soaring Dragon, everyone had a chance. Of course, under such management there was also a lot of pressure. However, it was also this kind of pressure that allowed the silly girl to grow up so quickly. From this point of view, Lu Chen was sincerely grateful to Soaring Dragon. Nameless, who was terrifying on the battlefield, was actually so easygoing in private. Old Lu and the others breathed a sigh of relief. "Alright, it's time for us to leave." "Wait," Winchim suddenly said. Lu Chen looked at Winchim in surprise. He was very familiar with this woman. He didn't expect that they would meet in the game today. At least in the game, Winchim was really beautiful. She was even more pleasing to the eye than in the video. Lu Chen noticed that there was no live stream logo next to Winchim's avatar. This meant that she had ended her live stream. It was obvious that Winchim was also a little nervous. She hesitated for a moment and walked to Nameless. She first whispered, "Warlord, can I ask you a question alone?" Lu Chen was a little confused, but he still agreed. The others tactfully looked to the side, and the two of them walked to the side. "What is it? Do you know Mad God?" Mad God? Lu Chen didn't expect Winchim to ask this question. Winchim thought that Nameless was a little unhappy and hurriedly explained, "That, I know that the only one who can compete with you is Mad God. You're both in Area 122, so the competition should be very fierce. Maybe you fought in the advanced area. It's not appropriate for me to ask you about Mad God." Lu Chen blinked. This woman's imagination wasn't weak. He didn't fight Mad God. "It's okay, I'm not that petty. What do you want to know about Mad God?" Winchim saw that Nameless was so open-minded and sighed in relief. Thank you, Warlord. That if you have the chance to meet Mad God, can you let him read the email? I've been worried about him. Is this a confession?" Lu Chen was a little surprised. Winchim was a little flustered and hurriedly explained, No, I'm just a streamer. He helped me before, and I've always wanted to thank him if I have the chance." Lu Chen nodded. The name Mad God had almost been forgotten by the outside world, except for the personal dungeons that appeared recently. He didn't expect Winchim to be so loyal and still remember Mad God. "Okay, I'll pass on your message if I have the chance." Chapter 154. Lu Yi and Little May both joined Wild Waves, but Lu Chen also said that he wouldn't open a back door for them. If they wanted to gain a foothold in Wild Waves with 500 people, they had to fight for it with their own strength. Lu Chen originally wanted to take Lu Yi to level up, but the silly girl didn't go. "Brother, my level can't compare to yours, but it's considered high among normal players. It wasn't easy for you to establish a level advantage, so don't waste time on me. The competition in Jiutian is so fierce right now, and there are so many variables in Jiutian. If you fall behind by one step, you might lose your previous advantage." Lu Chen looked at Lu Yi in surprise. "Yo, you're so self-aware." "TCH, how can your sister not be self-aware?" Lu Yi pouted proudly. "Hurry up and level up. Don't think about taking me along. I'll get stronger on my own." "Okay." Lu Chen shook his head. "Right. You're not in Soaring Dragon anymore. Hurry up and go home. Pack up your things, we're moving." "Moving? Brother, we have a few soldiers here. The boss suddenly called me over." Lu Yi's expression was puzzled. Lu Chen was also wondering what happened to Lu Yi. He turned around and saw that Ingjun and Little May seemed to be offline. "What's the situation?" At this moment, Lu Chen also received a call. It was from Li Muhua. "Brother Chen, I've already sent someone to pick up your sister. They'll be home in about 30 minutes. We'll take care of the information from Soaring Dragon, Little May and Ingjun, so you don't have to worry. You're moving too fast. Speaking of which, Aren't you guys protecting a bit too much? There's no other way. You're the most important person to protect right now. I'll tell you something, but don't spread it. Right now in some Western countries, there are already 3 episodes of vicious real-life PK incidents. Offline real-life PK. It's normal for real-life PK to happen in-game. I've seen it happen a few times in internet cafes. No, you didn't get the news, so it's normal for you to think so. From what we know, these 3 incidents were even more organized and planned. However, you're right. These are isolated cases. It's normal for a few cases to occur among 4 billion players. However, we have to pay attention to the fact that Jiutian's influence is too great. The business opportunities derived from the game are getting bigger and bigger. Once it's linked to profits, this kind of thing will happen more often. Lu Chen nodded. That was true. Jiutian had only been online for a little over a month, but the highest number of players online had already exceeded 4 billion, which meant that 1/5 of the world's population was playing the game at the same time. Coupled with some of the uniqueness of the game itself, it was like a second world outside the real world. It would be strange if there weren't many business opportunities. When the forces of all sides converged, the wrestling between them would become more frequent, and the competition for benefits would become more intense. No matter how strong he was in the game, he was still immortal in real life. Even if he was shot, wouldn't he still die? From the looks of it, this is still a rare occurrence. Tianheng has suppressed it, and the situation has not escalated. Most of the players have not developed to the stage of real-life PK, but it is still necessary for us to take precautions. Li Muhua's tone was much more serious this time. He was not joking. Anyway, just play the game normally. I will take care of the offline matters. Although Lu Chen did not take this matter too seriously, he had no reason to reject an additional layer of protection. Okay, thanks. After hanging up, Lu Chen finally understood what was going on with his sister, Ying Jun and Little Mei. Lu Chen did not know how long Ying Jun and the others would take. The city was also safe, so he did not wait for them, and directly left the Celestial Mountain King City. This time, when he accompanied Lu Yi to participate in the Team PK competition, Lu Chen more or less obtained some information about the Celestial Beast. That guy should be hiding in the Stormy Pond, and the 72 Pillars of Flame might be its skill or talent. As for the damage, Lu Chen had already experienced it. Once hit, it would deal 10,000 damage. It can't insta-kill me, but it might not be enough for me to kill it. Lu Chen pondered. I have to continue evolving. To evolve, Lu Chen lacked primordial materials. Currently, the only thing that was related to primordial was the primordial battlefield. However, the primordial battlefield was blocked by the moon-worshipping blood pool, an overpowered map. Let's go to Fiend City to level up, and see if there are any dungeons or secret lands. Thinking up to this point, Lu Chen headed straight for the level 30 map. Blood Fiend macaques could be seen everywhere in Fiend City. However, this time, Lu Chen did not head towards the area with the most macaques. He had already explored that area on the map. There was nothing special there. After walking about 400 to 500 meters away from the ruined walls of Fiend City, the surrounding forest gradually became sparse. Lu Chen carefully observed the changes in his surroundings. At the same time, he walked along the edge of his personal map and explored the entire map. There are fewer monkeys, but the monsters are so sparse in such a large map. Won't it be a waste? Lu Chen was a little puzzled. Let's head south. If there aren't any monsters, then there's nothing to see in Fiend City. Sticking close to the rocky mountain, Shifeng headed south. Before long, the path ahead was blocked by another mountain. He had already explored this part of Fiend City. Damn it, there's nothing here. How many levels do they want me to grind, so I can barge into the moon-worshipping blood pool? Blood poison was a HP removal type damage, and it was a percentage damage. Increasing one's maximum HP didn't seem to be of much use. Damn, this is a little difficult. Lu Chen shook his head. Just as he was about to return to the ruined Fiend City, a faint sound suddenly came from behind him. Lu Chen stopped in his tracks and listened carefully. The sound of water? Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The faint sound of water flowing came from behind the mountain. Judging by the size of the mountain, If there was water flowing on the other side of the mountain, he wouldn't be able to hear it. So why was he able to hear it now? Lu Chen walked up to the rock wall and pressed his ear against it. Whoosh, whoosh. Sure enough, there was the sound of water flowing. Lu Chen took 2 steps back and carefully examined the rock wall in front of him. It was about a dozen meters tall, and its sides were as neat as a knife. There were only a few unknown plants growing on it. Could it be a secret door? After touching the rock wall back and forth, Lu Chen couldn't find anything like a switch. What should he do if he couldn't find the key to the safe? There seemed to be only one answer. Lu Chen pulled out Tiger Whip and took a few steps back. Tiger descends the mountain. Bang! 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 The rock wall emitted the sound of metal colliding, but there was no indication of his HP. Just as Lu Chen was in despair, a system notification suddenly appeared. There was actually movement on the rock wall. There was a rumbling sound, and the surrounding ground shook slightly. Then 2 lines of words appeared on the surface of the rock wall. Strength testing rock door. Based on the test results of the strength testing, dungeons with different rewards will be opened. Lu Chen frowned. What the hell? What kind of weird gameplay did Heavenly Travel's designers come up with this time? Chapter 155. According to the introduction of the strength testing stone door, a dungeon with different rewards would be opened based on the player's strength. It's testing strength. It was rare for a dungeon to appear, so Lu Chen patiently tried to solve the puzzle. No wonder weapons don't work. It's not testing attack power, it's testing strength in 3 dimensions. If it's testing strength, wouldn't it be enough to obtain my character's attributes? How do I test this? Lu Chen tried touching the stone wall and realized that after the strength testing stone door was activated, the surface of the stone wall became less rigid. As he squeezed hard with his fingers, a line of small words appeared on the strength testing stone door. Only strength that you can control is your true strength. What does that mean? To obtain a more realistic gaming experience, please activate the pain system. The ratio should not be lower than 10%. After activation, you can test your strength. Damn, I need to activate the pain system? Jiutian used the technology of connecting the brain nerves to the quantum body to replicate the body. There was a pain system in the game, but when entering the game, it was turned off by default. Most players didn't know how to activate the pain system. Would they die from the pain of fighting a monster? Wasn't that just asking for trouble? However, there was a group of people. Lu Chen had seen an organization on the official website called Fearless Adventurers. This group of people believed that Tianqing had provided a game that was comparable to the real world. For people who could only live on Earth their whole lives, the Jiutian world was like a brand new world. Since there was an opportunity to adventure in a new world, then people should not be afraid of anything. They should open their arms and carefully experience everything in this new world, including pain and even death. Lu Chen always felt that this was a stupid decision. A game was a game. Was there a need to make it so real? However, what he was facing now was the strength testing stone door. Only strength that you can control is your true strength. Lu Chen experienced this sentence. I have more than 1,000 points of strength, but the effect of strength is mutual. I can use more than 1,000 points of strength, but that doesn't mean I can withstand more than 1,000 points of strength. The purpose of the stone door was not simply to test the player's strength, but to test the strength that the player could withstand. Lu Chen was a little afraid of pain, but if he couldn't pass this dungeon, he still couldn't think of a way to pass the moon-worshipping blood pool. We definitely have to try. Lu Chen stared at the stone door. The surface of the stone door has turned into a rubber-like material. If I only turn on 10% of the pain system, it won't hurt too much. Besides, it's just opening a door. You can just close it after you enter. Thinking of this, Lu Chen put Tiger Sob back and took 2 steps back. Turn on the pain system and adjust the ratio. Pain tolerance, 10%. Taking a deep breath, Lu Chen looked at his fist and shook his head. Alright, I'll torture myself. Gritting his teeth, Lu Chen stepped forward and punched the stone wall. The moment his fist made contact with the stone wall, Lu Chen could clearly feel the impact of the collision with his fist, as well as the enormous recoil he felt on his arm. Boom. Hey, it doesn't hurt too much. Lu Chen rubbed his fist. He had been in society for so many years, so he could still bear this little pain. Not long after, a row of data appeared on the stone door. Strength test result. Strength exertion 91%, 101 points. Congratulations, you have unlocked the Fiend City Ancient Ruins level 30. Level 5 reward instance dungeon. Retest. Yes/no. He only used 91% of his strength, but most people's strength would vary from time to time, so it was considered a relatively good performance. If it's over 1000, then I won't test it. Let's go in first. After choosing no retest, the hidden stone door finally opened slowly. Lu Chen stepped into it as soon as he slept. Inside the strength test stone door, the light was dim. He could vaguely see that the surrounding passageways were paved with stone, very orderly. The surrounding air was filled with a damp and moldy smell. There was a small stream beside Lu Chen's feet. To be precise, it was more like a sewer, and the water flowed into the depths. So the sound came from this sewer. Lu Chen glanced at the direction of the water flow. This could be the drainage system of Fiend City. I'll just follow the direction of the water flow. Before entering the instance dungeon, Lu Chen remembered one thing. Turn off the pain sensing system. Before completing this instance dungeon, you cannot turn off the pain sensing system. Oh my god, do you have to be so screwed? Lu Chen complained. Forget it, 10% isn't much. I'll just turn it on. This time, I'll be able to experience a more realistic journey to another world. Following the direction of the water flow, Lu Chen began to enter the instance dungeon. After walking for a short distance, there were 4 to 5 monsters dressed like monkeys walking around the sewer. 3 spirit fiend macaques? It's different from the ones outside. Lu Chen didn't waste any time. He immediately used Tiger's Roar and activated Great Ravager. Whoosh 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 whoosh. Several sword auras slashed out, rushing towards the group of monkeys. Immune, immune, immune. WTF. Lu Chen almost collapsed. Physical immunity was fine, but there were people who were immune to spiritual attacks? Perhaps it had something to do with the nature of this instance dungeon. After all, the instance dungeon tested strength at the beginning. This meant that the instance dungeon tested the strength of the body. There's no more AoE attacks. Fuck, let's fight slowly. Lu Chen was about to attack, but the monkeys had already rushed over. GG. The group of monkeys simultaneously used quick movement and pounced towards Lu Chen with strange cries. Only you guys know how to do it. I'm also a monster. Whatever you guys know, I know too. Lu Chen coldly snorted. At the same time, he activated quick movement. A figure instantly flashed in the middle of the 4 to 5 spirit fiend macaques. Frozen Roar. At the same time, a ring of ice exploded, sealing all the macaques. Wind Force, Tiger descends the mountain. Lu Chen continuously activated his skills. Minus 2,536, critical hit. Minus 674 poisoned. Minus 674 poisoned. A series of damage appeared above the target's head. Lu Chen instantly dealt 15,000 plus damage, instantly killing one of the macaques. Their HP is quite high. They have over 10,000 HP. Killed Spirit Fiend Macaque, level 3 * elite. Obtained 50,000 ambient spiritual energy. Obtained 10 tier 4 talent fragments. Obtained 10 4-star quality points. Extracted 10 pure spiritual energy. Fuck, 50,000 EXP per macaque? Lu Chen was momentarily stunned. This monkey's EXP was enough to instantly kill the boss, Serapis? Even the materials dropped every 10 pieces. This is the level 5 reward? Awesome. Ding. Obtain Macaque Leather X10. Obtain Macaque Teeth X15. Obtained Monkey King Belt, level 30 blue. X5. Lu Chen almost spat out a mouthful of blood. It was fine if the leather and teeth dropped, but when did the equipment drop every 5 pieces? Moreover, the quality was higher than the monkey spirit belt outside. A level 30 blue belt, and a bunch of it dropped every time. Fuck, does the level 5 reward have to be so extravagant? The benefits brought by this macaque far exceeded Lu Chen's expectations. He began to become more and more interested in this dungeon. The mobs dropped so much. Won't the boss drop a bunch of them? Fuck, let's farm them. As he spoke, Lu Chen's hands did not slow down at all. After a few attacks, he killed another macaque. At this moment, the first spirit fiend macaque broke free from its frozen state. It let out a strange cry and pounced towards Lu Chen. -277426889. Fuck this damage. Lu Chen widened his eyes, looking at the chirpy monkey in front of him in disbelief. Chapter 156. The spirit fiend macaque's attack was off the charts. It was over 2,000 in one go. Lu Chen could not take it. Damn, I actually feel a bit of pain. Lu Chen did not have time to think, and quickly killed the first spirit fiend macaque that broke free from the ice. Killed spirit fiend macaque, 3 elite. Captured 50,000 spiritual energy. Obtained rank 4 talent fragment 10. Obtained 4-star quality 10. Extracted pure spiritual energy 10. Ding! Obtained macaque leather X 15. Obtained macaque tail X 10. Obtained Yao beast core X 1. After killing it, it was another 50,000 experience and a pile of materials. Strange, what is a beast core? Why did it only drop 1? Lu Chen felt that it was a bit strange. Unfortunately, he did not have time to care about this. It was better to kill these monkeys as soon as possible. Lu Chen quickly switched to headless flying corpse form. The headless flying corpse's ejection was still strong. The remaining 3 spirit fiend macaques' HP quickly decreased. When they broke free from the ice, they only had half of their HP left. After a while, Lu Chen finally killed this wave of macaques. At this time, Lu Chen only had around 10,000 HP left. The monkey's attack might have increased. Their physical attack is too terrifying. Lu Chen drank a bottle of potion. While waiting for his HP to recover, he checked his equipment. The 5 spirit fiend macaques just now pulled out a large pile of equipment. There were dozens of materials and 15 pieces of equipment. They were all level 30 blue grade Monkey King belt. Monkey King belt, level 30 blue. Defense. Physical defense 32, spiritual defense 4. Strength 43, agility 62, physique 48, special effect. After leaving battle, HP recovery speed increases by 70 points. The Monkey King belt's attributes were quite good. The special effect was especially disappointing. The HP recovery effect was not very useful. That's it. What blue-grade equipment? It's just that the basic attributes are a bit higher. The items dropped by these monkeys are not good. But no matter what, level 30 blue-grade equipment was definitely better than the level 24 Monkey King belt. Lu Chen did not say anything and directly equipped it. My HP has increased by almost 1,000. I can barely use it. Lu Chen had a lot of HP and needed some time to recover. Since he was bored, he checked the Monkey King belt one by one. 15 pieces. How about we get a small piece? After looking through 7 or 8 pieces of equipment, the Monkey King's belt's attributes were all the same. The only difference was that there was a slight difference in its HP recovery speed, which hovered between 65 to 80 HP. However, because it only recovered HP after leaving combat, it didn't have much meaning. Lu Chen was too lazy to change it. Looks like the Monkey King's belt doesn't have any good quality items. Lu Chen shook his head and casually displayed the last Monkey King's belt. Upon seeing the attributes of the belt, Lu Chen was stunned. Monkey King belt +1, level 30 blue. Defense. Physical defense 40, spiritual defense 5, strength 45, agility 65, physique 50 special effect. Increase HP regeneration by 95 points after leaving combat. Special effect. Increase HP regeneration by 21 points. This time, Lu Chen was a little uneasy. Damn, this is an enhanced Monkey King's belt? Lu Chen was momentarily stunned. Up until now, he had never obtained any enhanced equipment. No one even knew that Jiutian equipment could be strengthened. Could it be that only level 30 equipment can be strengthened? After strengthening by 1 level, the belt's physical defense increased by 8 and spiritual defense increased by 1. There was a small increase in 3D, but the most important thing was that the special effect was clearly strengthened. 95 HP regeneration after leaving combat. The previous highest was around 80 HP. It has increased by a lot. Moreover, There is an additional effect, battle HP regeneration. Although the battle HP regeneration of 21 HP was like a drop in the bucket to Lu Chen, it was still better than nothing. Equipment can actually be strengthened. Then what is the strengthening material? Lu Chen looked at the materials in his bag. Leather, teeth, monkey tail, etc. They were all common materials. However, when he looked at the demon beast core, it actually said strengthening material. Oh, it's you. Damn. I was wondering why the others dropped 10 by 10. Only you dropped 1 by 1. Not only did the cores drop 1 by 1, but not every monster dropped them. In this wave of 5 monsters, only 1 core dropped. Lu Chen took out the core and took off the +1 Monkey King's belt. He tried to put the core on the belt. Demon Beast Core's spiritual energy is insufficient. Please pour in pure spiritual energy. Lu Chen picked up the core alone and immediately received the option to focus on pure spiritual energy. Pour in. A level 30 Demon Beast Core consumed 300 points of pure spiritual energy. This time, Lu Chen tried to put the core on the belt again, missing 2 similar pieces of equipment. Fortunately, there were enough Monkey King's belts in his bag. Lu Chen gritted his teeth and took out 2. This should be enough. A level 30 Demon Beast Core, 2 Monkey King's belts, and 1 Monkey King's belt to be strengthened floated in front of Lu Chen. Strengthen. A blue light flashed, and the 4 items suddenly merged into one. Lu Chen hurriedly looked at the new belt's attributes. Monkey King's belt +2, level 30 blue. Defense. Physical defense 48, spiritual defense 6, strength 48, agility 69, physique 53, special effect. After leaving combat, HP regeneration increased by 135 points. Special effect. HP regeneration increased by 41 points. The basic attributes didn't increase by much, but the special effects increase is quite obvious. Lu Chen frowned. If there are other battle HP regeneration equipment here, I'll strengthen it. Maybe I can pass the moon-worshipping blood pool. Thinking of this, Lu Chen put on the belt and put away his bag. Okay, since that's the case, let's farm. About half an hour later, after farming 12 waves of spirit fiend macaques, there weren't many monsters here, and the killing speed wasn't fast, but the rewards were very considerable. 5 waves, that was 250,000 experience. 12 waves of spirit fiend macaques would be 3 million experience. His experience of level 30 had increased by almost a third. In addition, Lu Chen had accumulated hundreds of materials in his bag. There were actually 180 Monkey King's belts. From afar, his bag was full of blue Monkey King's belts. Damn, I've never farmed so many blue equipment in my life. Is this free? Lu Chen went to the front to take a look. In the ruins not far away, there was an open area with a big boss standing there. The boss finally appeared. Let's recover to full health first. Taking advantage of the recovery time, Lu Chen checked the equipment in his bag. He locked onto the belt that had better HP regeneration after leaving battle. These could be used as the main body for strengthening in the future. Let's upgrade the belt again. 2 to 3 required 1 beast core and 3 pieces of equipment of the same type. Lu Chen casually found 3 ordinary belts as materials. After injecting pure spiritual energy, he began to strengthen them. Strengthening successful. Obtained Monkey King's belt +3. Check the equipment. Monkey King's belt +3. Unable to be strengthened. Defense. Physical defense 54, spiritual defense 7, strength 54, agility 73, physique 62. Special effect. After leaving battle, HP regeneration increased by 178. Special effect. HP regeneration increased by 64. It can't be strengthened? I wonder if level 30 equipment can only strengthen 3 or blue equipment can only strengthen 3. It's okay. After all, it's blue equipment dropped by small monsters. The attributes can't be compared to the boss. This HP regeneration is already good. I hope the boss can drop some HP regeneration equipment to help me cross the moon-worshipping blood pool. Putting away the equipment, Lu Chen got up and entered the boss territory. The boss in front of him was 7 to 8 meters tall. Its 2 long arms could almost touch the ground. Its whole body was covered in golden hair. Its portrait showed golden-haired blood fiend macaque, level 35. Brother monkey, don't disappoint me. Xiao Min go invisible. Let's go. Chapter 157. Lu Chen quickly approached the golden-haired macaque like an assassin. Just as Lu Chen was quietly approaching the boss, someone suddenly knocked on his gaming helmet. Brother, I'm back. Oh, be quiet. There's cola in the fridge. Wait for me, I'm fighting the boss. Fighting the boss. Brother, can I watch it? Watch it. Turn on your helmet's Bluetooth. I'm having a face-to-face video call. Lu Yi hurriedly threw her bag on Lu Chen's bed, put on her helmet, and sat beside Lu Chen. After Lu Chen turned on the corresponding function, Lu Yi could watch Lu Chen's battle. Fuck. Brother, what kind of boss is this? It's so big and you're fighting it alone? What else can I do? Lu Chen was not in a hurry. After all, he still had a long time to be invisible. Moreover, there was another benefit to Lu Yi's return. Xiao Min's active stealth cooldown had been reduced by half. Players who played the stealth style all knew that having a stealth cooldown was absolutely beneficial to the stealth style. I'm going to start fighting the boss. Okay. Lu Yi obediently sat at the side and watched the battle. Tiger descends the mountain. Lu Chen roared and immediately activated his strongest single-target special effect. Before the golden-haired macaque could discover Lu Chen suddenly appeared and attacked fiercely. -648, -653 poison, -653 poison, -2340, double critical hit, -653 poison, -653 poisoned. A large number of numbers appeared on top of the golden-haired macaque's head. The golden-haired macaque's health instantly dropped by a large chunk. In addition, the Zombie King's mask's meridian blockage was also triggered. Above the boss's head floated a symbol of silence and slow. Only 90,000 health? I can deal 15,000 plus damage with a single tiger descends the mountain. 6 times is enough. The boss seemed to be abnormally angry at being ambushed. It roared and attacked with its claw. -7223. The macaque's attack was fast. After the first attack, before Lu Chen could dodge, the second claw was about to hit him. Oh my god. This attack is too inhumane. Lu Chen's eyes widened. This damage was over 7,000. It wasn't much different from the 72 pillars of heaven's flames. The second attack was about to arrive. Icebound roar. An ice ring exploded just in time. The boss's hand, which was about to reach Lu Chen's face, was frozen solid. Motherfucker, this attack has points. And he's still so fast. Damn, I can actually feel pain all over my body. Lu Chen wasn't greedy for the few attacks that came after the freeze, and he quickly pulled away. This boss had obviously been strengthened. Now Lu Chen was regretting that he had tested the strength of 1,000 plus. Otherwise, he would not have encountered such a strong boss. This is what it means to have high returns and high risks. The boss quickly broke free from the frozen state and chased after Lu Chen on all fours. Although the boss had broken free from the frozen state, the blocked meridians lasted for 10 seconds. With a 40% speed reduction, Monkey was very anxious, but he could not catch up to Lu Chen. This guy is so fast. He can still run so fast, even with a 40% speed reduction. When he recovers, I definitely won't be able to outrun him. Xiao Min, turn invisible quick. Boss, there are still 17 seconds. Lu Chen really hoped that Lu Yi would have said a few more words to him just now, so that he could survive the 17 seconds. Unfortunately, the invisibility was not done yet. Lu Chen could only run as fast as he could. Wind blast. Lu Chen quickly increased his movement speed and pulled away as much as possible. Not long after, the boss's speed reduction and silence disappeared, and his speed suddenly increased. Bang! 4 words appeared above the boss's head. Rapid movement. Lu Chen widened his eyes and stared at the boss. If the boss closed in on him, he definitely wouldn't be able to last 3 seconds. He also had rapid movement, and the distance was not short. This was his only life-saving skill now. However, the definition of rapid movement was not a simple movement, but a sudden increase in speed. During this period, he could change directions, use skills and attack. If Lu Chen used rapid movement at the same time as the boss, he might still be caught. Now Lu Chen had to survive the last 17 seconds. Lu Chen's breathing obviously became faster. This was the first time he had been so close to death. At this time, Lu Chen suddenly thought of what it would feel like to die when the 10% pain system was turned on. To a certain extent, the golden-haired spiritual macaque was harder to deal with than Cenobus. Cenobus's attack was high, but it was not agile. This guy's agility was higher than Lu Chen's. Lu Chen had come too early. When a normal player's strength reached 1000, they would be around level 40. At that time, not only would their equipment add a lot of physical defense, but their skills and equipment's special effects would also be incomparable to Lu Chen's. Fuck. So the plan was to let me experience death? Lu Chen snorted. You're too naive. Seeing the boss pounce at Lu Chen at a speed that was hard to catch with the naked eye, Lu Yi was dumbfounded. This was the boss that her brother usually fought? 7,000 plus HP with one slap? Other players' physical attacks could not even break through her brother's defense. Moreover, with that attack speed, if it wasn't for her brother's excellent control, he could have at least slapped twice more. By then, he would have lost more than half of his HP. In this rapid movement, as long as it collided with her brother, he might have been killed instantly. How was her brother going to resolve it? Or rather, could he resolve it? The boss instantly appeared in front of Lu Chen. At this time, its thick arm was already in a descending state. It seemed that while it was moving, it had already made an attack move. This slap would only take a few tenths of a second to land. Just as the boss' giant claw was about to land, Lu Chen roared. Rapid movement. When the boss saw that Lu Chen was about to run, it grabbed at him with its arm. In Jiutian, to avoid normal attacks, the only way was to escape the attack's range. Otherwise, it would definitely hit. However, just as the giant claw was about to land, the shadow slipped away from its fingertips. Louie covered her mouth in shock. Oh my god! It seemed like a close call. But her brother had already thought of the only possible countermeasure in his mind. The boss' rapid movement speed and distance were likely to be greater than Lu Chen's. Therefore, Lu Chen did not use rapid movement at the beginning, because he might be caught if he used it. When the boss flashed in front of Lu Chen, he could already confirm that the boss' rapid movement had been used up. At this time, Lu Chen had to use rapid movement to have a chance of escaping. The boss only raised its hand for a moment to attack, and only in this moment, he had to escape the boss attack range. This required an accurate estimation of the boss attack range. And Lu Chen only relied on the experience of being attacked once before to control the boss attack range to a millimeter. If he did not do everything to the extreme, Lu Chen would definitely not be able to escape the boss attack. Brother, you're too strong. Strong my ass, I almost died. After putting some distance between them, Lu Chen also heaved a sigh of relief. He still had the mood to talk to Lu Yi. Xiaomin, are you done? Boss, I'm done. Okay, it's our turn this time. Go invisible. Chapter 158. He didn't have any experience before, but now Lu Chen already knew the boss routine. High physical attack, high attack speed, high movement speed. Patience was a must when facing this kind of boss. Lu Chen waited until Xiaomin's invisibility was on cooldown before launching the second wave of attacks. Fierce Tiger descends the mountain. This time, it was a triple critical hit, dealing 18,000 plus damage. In addition, Fierce Tiger descends the mountain, and the Tiger Demon bloodline allowed Lu Chen to deal 6 damage in one attack. This greatly increased the chances of triggering meridian blockage. The boss was silenced and slowed again. Without waiting for the boss to react, Lu Chen immediately used Frozen Roar to seal the boss, then quickly retreated. The duration of Frozen Roar was 2 to 7 seconds. The specific duration depended on the strength of the summoner. With the boss's strength, it could only freeze for 2 seconds. However, in these 2 seconds, Lu Chen had pulled enough distance. After another 3 or 4 seconds, Lu Chen rushed in and entered invisibility. The boss's head was still bleeding, and this part of the damage was not to be underestimated. After 2 waves of attacks, the boss's HP was reduced by half. Throughout the whole process, Louis was shocked and didn't dare to make a sound. At this moment, she suddenly heard Lu Chen talking to her. Hey, is your friend Xiaomei okay? There were quite a lot of things happening recently. Li Muhua said that he would deal with Xiaomei and Ying Jun, which made Lu Chen think of some Hong Kong, Taiwan, and American dramas. There's often a saying, only the dead are useful in keeping secrets. However, this was just his imagination. Li Muhua and the others wouldn't do this, right? What can happen to her? She's fine. Lu Chen shook his head. He was thinking too much. While talking, the cooldown of invisibility was almost over. Lu Chen quietly approached and waved his two swords, dealing another 15,000 plus damage. The boss was quite depressed now. It had a lot of skills, but couldn't hit anyone. With this back and forth, the boss HP was almost empty by the fourth attack. However, Lu Chen was still waiting for stealth to cool down. After ensuring that nothing went wrong, he finished off the boss with his fifth attack. Killed golden-haired demonic macaque. Level 30 strength enhanced boss. Obtained 300,000 auras. Obtained 10 6th rank talent fragments. Obtained 10 6th rank evolution points. Damn, this tier 6 material drops fucking 2 million reputation points. Lu Chen exclaimed excitedly. Ding! Obtained Monkey King strength boots. Level 30 purple. Asterisk 5. Golden spear strength ring. Level 30 blue. Asterisk 5. Level 30 monster core. Green asterisk 5. There seemed to be a pile of materials behind him, but Lu Chen was too lazy to look at them. Speaking of which, the purple equipment dropped in 5 pieces? Was this the world of the nouveau riche? Brother, did something good drop? Purple boots, blue ring, beast cores, and a bunch of materials. Oh my god, purple boots. This is the first item in the entire server? I think so. Lu Chen took out the boots to check. It'll be great if there's an enhancement. Monkey King strength boots, level 30 purple. Defense. Physical defense 89, spiritual defense 14. Defense is still okay. Strength 300, agility 50, vitality 50. Damn, this property, no wonder it's called strength boots. It's too biased. It was Lu Chen's first time getting a piece of equipment with this kind of property in the Jiutian. Special effect 1. Quick movement. Explodes out the potential of the monkey spirit's agility. Move a maximum of 15, 10 plus 5, meters in 0. 5 seconds. While moving, it will not affect other skills. Cooldown 60, 120 to 60 seconds. Special effect 2. Increase quick movement by 50%. Reduce cooldown by 50%. Lu Chen blinked his eyes. First, Lu Chen understood why Special Effect 1 increased the distance and cooldown. It was because of Special Effect 2. Naturally, this special effect had been weakened. When the boss used it, the distance it moved exceeded 25 meters. But this was not the main point. The main point was that the special effect of the boots was the same as the monkey spirit's bloodline talent. The developers of Heavenly Travel were crazy, but he had to admit that their standards were high. They would not repeat such a low-level effect. Is there a possibility? Lu Chen frowned. The equipment's special effect and talent are separate, and their cooldowns are independent? That means when I wear these boots, I have 2 quick movements. Also, does the enhancement of Special Effect 2 increase my talent? Thinking of this, Lu Chen put on the strength boots first, then opened the character panel. Monkey Spirit Bloodline. Level 4, move a maximum of 30, 20 plus 10, meters in 0, 5 seconds. Cooldown 60, 120 to 60 seconds. Damn, it's really an enhancement. This is awesome. The enhancement effect had been confirmed. Now it was time to see if the 2 quick movements had independent cooldowns. Lu Chen used the boot's special effect once, then immediately looked at his talent. The skill was ready. He used it again. This time, Lu Chen rushed out 30 meters. This time, Lu Chen could not remain calm. Ha 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 ha, awesome. The skill's cooldown is independent. I can use quick movements twice every 60 seconds. No, I have to try again. I have to use the 2 skills together. When the 2 quick movements were off cooldown, Lu Chen rushed out 45 meters in 1 second. In the blink of an eye, he had rushed from one end of the boss room to the other. Ha 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 ha, awesome. Normally, when players obtain the Monkey King's War Boots, A 15-meter rapid movement every 60 seconds was already very powerful. However, Lu Chen had an even better monkey spirit bloodline innate skill. With this innate skill, the monkey spirit bloodline innate skill was more than twice as powerful. The Jiutian game experience was very realistic. Lu Chen was instantly immersed in the joy of transforming into the Flash. For a moment, he could only see a figure flying in and out of the boss room. A man like the wind. Ahahaha. This is so fun. Suddenly a faint voice sounded. Brother, what's wrong with you? What kind of skill is this? Hee, isn't it cool? Cool my ass, I can't even see it clearly. How is your skill stronger than the boss? In the blink of an eye he was gone. Hee, don't worry. I'll leave you one. Oh right, let's see if there are any enhanced boots. Lu Chen finally settled down and began to check the other boots. It's not enhanced. It's not there either. Louis almost broke down. Brother, didn't you say there were only 2 pieces of equipment? Did you copy and paste these? Yes, there were only 2 pieces. Oh, I didn't make it clear. The boss can drop 5 pieces of equipment at once. Pooh, Louis vomited blood. 5 pieces of purple equipment at once? Yes, this is a level 5 reward dungeon. At the beginning, you have to test your strength. I'll explain it to you later when we eat. Let me see if there are any enhanced boots. Enhanced? What the hell is that? At +3. Damn. I'm rich. Lu Chen opened his eyes wide and looked at the boots in front of him. Chapter 159. Monkey King Strength War Boots +3. Defense. 119 Physical Defense. 24 Spiritual Defense. Strength. 390. Agility. 65 Constitution. 65. Special Effect 1. Rapid Movement. Explodes out the potential of the Monkey King's agility. Maximum movement distance of 25, 16 plus 9 meters and 0.5 seconds. Movement does not affect the release of other skills. Cooldown. 50, 120 to 70 seconds. Special Effect 2. Increase maximum rapid movement distance by 59%. Reduce cooldown by 59%. The base attributes of the enhanced war boots did not increase by much, but the special effect was greatly improved. Reduced the cooldown by 59%. Damn, I can use quick movement twice in 50 seconds. Oh right, the equipment did not say that it has been enhanced to the upper limit. This means that it can still be enhanced. Lu Chen immediately used the +3 war boots as the base and began to enhance. Requires level 30 Beast Core Green. Purple enhancement requires a green Beast Core? Luckily I have 5. Lu Chen took out the green Beast Core without hesitation. The green Beast Core required 500 points of pure aura. Luckily, he had obtained a few hundred points of pure aura from this dungeon. It was barely enough. Other than the Beast Core, the enhancement also required 3 other similar equipment. Damn, the enhancement is so expensive. I don't care, upgrade it to 4. Enhance. The Monkey King War Boots was enhanced to 4. The base attributes did not increase by much. The highest increase was in strength, which increased by 420 points. The key was still the special effect. The maximum rapid movement distance became 20 plus 13, 33 meters. The cooldown became 120 to 78, which only required a short 42 seconds. Level 30 purple can only be enhanced to +4. But this attribute is already very powerful. Lu Chen nodded with satisfaction. 420 points of strength. The increase in strength is too fierce. Since the strength war boots increased a lot of strength, Lu Chen was also interested in the blue equipment Monkey King Ring of Strength. Monkey King Ring of Strength. Attack. Physical attack 40 to 52. Spiritual attack 10. Strength 120. Agility 20. Constitution 20 special effect. Increase attack speed by 10%. The Ring of Strength had exceeded Lu Chen's expectations. My strength has increased by a lot. Although the equipment's special effect is only passive, the attack speed increase is not bad. Let's see if I can enhance to 3. Monkey King Ring of Strength +3. Attack. Physical attack 55 to 67. Attack 13. Strength 180. Agility 35. Constitution 35 special effect. Increase attack speed by 20% after strengthening. His strength immediately soared to 180, and his attack speed increased by 20%. His attributes even surpassed that of a purple equipment. After equipping the 2 new pieces of equipment, Lu Chen looked at his physical attack again. It had already exceeded 2,000. As expected of a level 5 reward dungeon, Lu Chen exclaimed, "My only regret is that even though I've increased my strength by a lot, it's still a little difficult to cross the moon-worshipping blood pool. I only have 1 piece of battle HP recovery equipment, so it's still not enough." Lu Chen wondered if he could use haste to force his way through, but after some thought, he gave up on the idea. He had no idea just how large the moon-worshipping blood pool was. If he tried to force his way through, what if he still couldn't escape after dodging several waves of monsters? At that time, he might not be able to come out even if he wanted to. We can't rush the moon-worshipping blood pool. Let's see if there are any other methods. The instance dungeon had been cleared, so Lu Chen temporarily quit the game. Taking off his helmet, Lu Chen knocked on his sister's helmet and said, "Hey, time to go offline." A moment later, Louie took off her helmet and looked at Lu Chen in surprise. "Brother, you're too strong." Lu Chen did not hold back at all. "Why else would I be your brother?" "Stop daydreaming. I'll take you out for dinner first, then we'll come back and pack up. We'll be home for the next 2 days. And okay." That night, the siblings packed up the things in the house. They packed up what needed to be packed, and threw away what needed to be thrown away. "Brother, you're throwing away that rice cooker too? It can still be used." Lu Chen laughed. "These appliances have been used for so many years that they're rusty. Just throw them away. Have you forgotten that I just earned 8 million? "I know, but I'm still a little reluctant. Maybe I'm used to it." Seeing his sister unwilling to let go of the old rice cooker, Lu Chen felt a little sad. All these years, his younger sister was still very young. Other children had countless toys and endless snacks. But this little girl beside him didn't even have enough to eat. She had suffered with him at a young age, but she had never complained. Girls of Lu Yi's age liked to be pretty. Other people's wardrobes were filled with clothes, but Lu Yi only had a few cheap clothes. She did not even have any cosmetics. The silly girl always said, "Mom and Dad told me to take good care of you." Silly girl, we're different now. Even if we can't earn money in the game, we don't have to worry about living anymore. In the past, the siblings did not have a fixed place to stay. It was only when Lu Chen's income stabilized that the two settled down. Therefore, the two did not have much to pack. Lu Chen had already packed some things before, so it only took him 2 hours to finish packing. It's finally done. A car will be able to take it away tomorrow. "Brother, should I make an appointment with the moving company?" "No need, I'll think of something," Lu Chen said. "You stay at home. I'll go find Luo Xiaohei and tell him." "Okay, then I'll go play games. I need to hurry up and level up." Lu Chen smiled. "Go ahead." He called Luo Yu and made an appointment to meet downstairs. At night, there were not many people in the equipment area. After going downstairs, Lu Chen saw someone sitting on a bench and smoking. Lu Chen didn't know if it was the environment or if it was just his imagination, but Luo Yu's back seemed a little lonely. "Hazy." Lu Chen walked over. "Chengge." Luo Yu looked up at Lu Chen. The first thing he did was pass a cigarette to Lu Chen. "What a coincidence I'm home today. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been able to find me." Lu Chen took the cigarette. "Xiaohei, I'm here to say goodbye. I'll be moving out tomorrow. I already told the landlord." "Huh? You're moving out?" Luo Yu was surprised. Lu Chen knew Luo Yu would be surprised, but in order not to trouble Luo Yu, Lu Chen didn't plan on telling him where he was moving to. "Don't ask too much about Hazy moving out. You've been taking care of me, and all these years. I never had the chance to thank you." "Chengge, what are you saying? If you thank me, then you're treating me like an outsider. Besides, you've taught me a lot over the years. No, you're just moving out. It's not like we'll never see each other again. Why are you so sad?" "Chengge, since you told me not to ask too much, then I won't ask. I just want to ask, do you still see me as a brother?" "Duh, of course," Lu Chen replied with certainty. Luo Yu nodded. "I've been in society for a long time now. Now I understand that in life, You can have as many fair-weather friends as you want, but it's good enough to have one true friend. Chengge, I'll say it again. If you need anything from me, Luo Yu, feel free to call me. Lu Chen nodded, stood up, and raised his hand. I'll remember. We'll always be brothers. Luo Yu gripped Lu Chen's hand tightly. Yes, we'll always be brothers. Chapter 160. Early the next morning, the moving company's car arrived at Lu Chen's house. The siblings looked back at Happiness Neighborhood and got into the car. When they got into the car, Louis realized that the people who came to help them move were none other than Li Muhua and the others. Ah, it's you guys. Louis was surprised. Li Muhua adjusted his hat and said helplessly, Your brother asked us to come. How could we not come? Lu Chen smiled. I was afraid that you guys were going to talk to the moving company again. So I called you guys directly. Seeing how fast you guys moved, I'm sure you guys are in Jiangcheng. Li Muhua couldn't help but laugh. Ha ha. Alright, we have to thank you for helping you move. Nameless Bro is really good at scheming. You're welcome, Lu Chen said casually. Half an hour later, the car arrived at the villa area in Sunshine Neighborhood. Bro, did we go to the wrong place? Louis looked around at the exquisite and luxurious villas and seemed a little unnatural. Louis, your brother didn't tell you that he bought a villa? Li Muhua looked at Louis in amusement. A villa? Bro, didn't we see a high-rise villa last time? Louis was shocked. Lu Chen smiled and shook his head. Louis really didn't pay attention to the outside world. It seemed like she didn't know about the auction at Wild Waves. Just that auction alone had a turnover of more than 14 million. Louis, you don't know how valuable your brother's equipment is. Moreover, it's not something you can buy just because you want to. So many people are fighting to buy it, right, Bro Chen? Right your head, you can't drive properly. Lu Chen rolled his eyes at Li Muhua. Li Muhua quickly stuck out his tongue and didn't dare to say more. Lu Chen bought Villa A16. This villa had the best location. It was far from the other villas and was quiet. There was a man-made stream behind the house, and the surrounding greenery was done well. Even the courtyard in front of the house was slightly bigger than the other villas. The house that Su Xiaowei had chosen for Lu Chen was absolutely flawless. The car stopped in front of the garage next to the main body of the villa. When the car stopped, 3 strong young men got out of the car and helped Lu Chen and his sister move. Louis Chengge, let them move. My people have plenty of strength. Let's rest for a while. Li Muhua wasn't polite at all to his own people. Hey Lu Chen, why are you buying a car? It's such a waste to leave such a big garage empty. Lu Chen thought for a moment. Although we don't go out much, we still need to use a car sometimes. Let's buy one later. If you have time, go and learn how to drive first. After you learn how to drive, go and buy one. I'm too lazy to drive. Lu Chen turned back and said. Louis blinked. Brother, can you be any lazier? Li Muhua suddenly said. Since you haven't bought it, then don't buy it. I heard that on the 50th day of Jiutian's launch, Tianqing is planning to organize an event. The reward is a limited edition sports car from Tianqing. They even released the concept art. There's only one car in each server. You can't buy it even if you want to. Huh. There's such a thing. Lu Chen hadn't paid attention to the official website for a while. Lu Yi, on the other hand, spent all her time leveling up. Of course she wouldn't care either. Why are you siblings the same? You don't even look at the official website. Li Muhua was very anxious. He took out his tablet and opened the official website. There were a few banners floating on the official website. A warm celebration for 9 Heavens domain breaking 2. 5 billion online players. A global celebration for Jiutian's 50th day of launch. Temporary closure of all servers. 2. 5 billion players competing for the limited edition of 200 Chameleon Supercar. Li Muhua swiped his finger, and the image of the supercar was projected on the tablet. The official website showed a silver supercar, but it was said that there were a few colors to choose from. Tianqing's supercar was streamlined and had a pleasing metallic feel to it. The body structure was powerful and technologically advanced. The car was equipped with ergonomic leather seats, Tianqing's self-developed virtual projection front window, and a driverless operating system. Damn this car. Let me tell you, I'm drooling just by looking at it. Li Muhua looked at the projection of the car and couldn't help but exclaim. Others are still developing it as a concept car. But Tianqing has already made it. Oh, let me tell you, the exterior of this car can be coated with illusions. What do you mean? Lu Chen asked, puzzled. I mean, you don't need me to explain Tianqing's technology, right? By changing the exterior coating, it can mimic other cars of the same size. Damn, that's awesome. Of course, why else would it be called a chameleon? Brother Chen, there are 200 of these cars in the world, one for each server. They'll never be produced again. You have to get your hands on one. I won't ask you to lend it to me. Just let me sit in it. The chameleon was indeed very cool. Lu Chen was a little moved. What's the event about? Tianqing didn't announce it. They said that after the servers merge, the players will be notified through the system. Lu Chen nodded. Then we'll talk about it when the time comes. The furniture was quickly moved. Lu Chen and his sister came to the villa. Their furniture was not enough to fit in such a big villa. Brother Chen, I'll come over tonight to set up a surveillance and anti-theft system. If anything happens, you can contact us directly through the anti-theft system. Li Muhua smiled. Since you already know, I won't hide it from you. We're staying nearby, so call us if anything happens. Lu Chen nodded. Okay. After Li Muhua and the others left, Lui finally let loose. She looked around the kitchen, the balcony, and then upstairs. Brother, which room is mine? There are so many rooms here. Up to you. Haha, I want to stay next to you. Which room are you staying in? Come up quickly. Seeing his sister so happy, Lu Chen felt more satisfied than when he got a purple equipment for the first time. He smiled as he walked upstairs. You're already so old, yet you insist on staying next to me. What if I bring my girlfriend back next time? I don't care. I've been with you since I was young anyway. Lu Chen stroked Lu Yi's hair and brought her to choose a room. After a busy day, the siblings finished building their new house and went shopping for daily necessities. The home appliances would be delivered in a few days, so they had to make do for the time being. Lu Yi had already logged into the game. Wild Waves had an event today. They were going to raid the first floor of the underground mine. So Lu Yi rushed to participate. Lu Chen also put on his helmet. If we have time, we can buy 2 gaming cabins, Lu Chen said as he entered the game. As soon as he entered the game, he stood in front of the smooth stone wall of the Fiend City ruins. Let's do a dungeon first. Lu Chen touched the stone wall, and 2 lines of words appeared on the stone wall. Dungeons with different rewards will be opened according to the test results of the physical test. Physical test? That's not right. Wasn't it strength last time? Lu Chen frowned, but on second thought, he suddenly realized a problem. During the strength test, the boss dropped strength equipment, and the equipment's effects were all offensive. Then during the physique test, would the boss drop physique equipment, health buffs, or even health recovery equipment? Chapter 161. Physique Test. As soon as Lu Chen's voice fell, his HP quickly decreased. During the strength test, Lu Chen used his strength to attack the stone door. But now he was testing his physique. After Lu Chen prepared for the test, Lu Chen suddenly felt a slight pain in his chest. Lu Chen didn't feel this small pain. At the same time, the stone wall displayed the results of Lu Chen's physique test. Physique test result: 1233 status, 93%. Physique test completed. Level 5 reward instance dungeon unlocked. It's already 1200 points, and it's still a level 5 reward instance dungeon. Lu Chen was a bit confused about the instance dungeon standards. Forget it. I'll retest it the next time it becomes a strength instance dungeon. The instance dungeon's door was already open. Lu Chen didn't care about the future, and entered the instance dungeon first. The instance dungeon's map had also changed. The monsters changed from spirit macaques to stone macaques, and their HP had greatly increased. However, although their HP was high, their attack was low. Lu Chen had changed 2 pieces of equipment, and his strength had greatly increased. His defense was already over 700. These macaques only dealt 200 to 300 damage to him. The physique instance dungeon is much easier than the strength instance dungeon. After Lu Chen tested a wave of monsters, and saw that there was no danger. He pulled several waves of monsters until he arrived in front of the boss room. 20 minutes later, Lu Chen cleared the monsters. Killed Stone Macaque, 3 * Elite. Captured 50,000 World Aura. Obtained Rank 4 Talent Fragment. Obtained 4-star quality points. Extracted Pure Aura 10. Killed Stone Macaque 3 * Elite. Captured 50,000 World Aura. Obtained Rank 4 Talent Fragment. Obtained 4-star quality points. Ding! Obtained Macaque Leather X10. Obtained Macaque Teeth X10. Obtained Demonic Beast Core X1. Obtained Monkey King's Shoulder Pads Level 30 Blue, X5. Obtained Monkey King's Cape, Level 30 Blue X5. It dropped equipment. It's shoulder pads and cape. Haha, it dropped a lot. Let's look at the attributes of the 2 equipment. The shoulder pads added physical defense and spiritual defense. They were average in 3D around 50. However, Lu Chen was rather excited when he saw the special effects of the shoulder pads. Haha, it's HP regeneration. There are both HP regeneration and HP regeneration. What I want is HP regeneration. Looking at the Monkey King's cape, it also provided a small amount of HP recovery effect. A +3 Monkey King's belt could only provide 178 HP recovery and 61 HP recovery. It was like trying to put out a burning cart with a cup of water. However, Lu Chen already had 3 pieces of HP recovery equipment. After the enhancement, the shoulder pads provided 204 HP recovery and 70 HP recovery, while the cloak provided 215 HP recovery and 72 HP recovery. With the 3 pieces of equipment, I can recover 600 HP when I leave combat, and 203 HP when I'm in combat. My own vitality can also provide about 50 HP when I'm in combat. Now I can maintain 250 plus HP when I'm in combat. The moon worshipping blood pool's 0.5% HP loss effect every second was around 100 HP. It could be completely replenished. No, that's not right. The blood poison curse of the moon worshipping disciples can stack the blood poison effect, and each stack adds up to over 200 HP. It should be about the same as my current battle recovery. However, I don't know how big the moon worshipping blood pool is. Lu Chen had played until now. Although there were a few dangerous situations, he had never really died. In fact, Lu Chen always had a guess. He was different from ordinary players. Even if he was wearing human skin, he was still a wild monster. If a human player died, they could revive in the Immortal Mountains reincarnation realm. However, if he died, where would he revive? Or whether he could revive? Based on this consideration, Lu Chen wanted to play it safe if the conditions allowed. The boss was called Golden-Haired Stone Skin Ape. It looked similar to the Golden-Haired Spirit Fiend, but it was much less of a threat to Lu Chen. Each attack could only deal 2000 plus HP to Lu Chen. However, it had a lot of HP. With 240,000 HP, Lu Chen would have to stand for half a day to heal. Originally, Lu Chen thought that since there was no threat to his life, it was only a matter of time before he killed the boss. However, when the boss HP fell below 10%, it roared and stomped on the ground, stunning Lu Chen. Then, it stood there alone and recovered HP crazily. Damn, it still has this trick up its sleeve. Lu Chen was dizzy, but he could still see the boss HP skyrocketing. After a while, the boss HP recovered to 90%. Damn, it recovered 200,000 HP. Lu Chen really wanted to vomit blood. I only have 10,000 HP left. I could have easily defeated it. I was lazy before and didn't fight properly. Now it's like fighting again. When the boss finished recovering its HP, Lu Chen also regained his ability to move. However, he did not dare to underestimate this boss now. Although the golden-furred stone-skin macaque's attack was not high, its HP was too high. With this recovery skill, it was equivalent to 400,000 HP. It would definitely kill the opponent. Lu Chen hurriedly focused. He used Frozen Roar, Rapid Movement, Vein Blockade, and Stealth. He used everything he could. He used the energy he used to fight the golden-furred demonic macaque to deal with this guy. It can't be that when its HP drops to 10%, it will recover a lot of HP. Lu Chen was still worried about this. After such a long time, the skill should have enough time to cool down. He had to kill the boss when its HP reached 24,000 or more. Lu Chen stared at the boss HP, 50,000. Lu Chen had already started to hold back on using his skills. 40,000, 30,000, 28,000. At this time, if he used 2 critical hits or a triple damage combo, the boss would recover a lot of HP. He could not be greedy anymore. Frozen Roar. Lu Chen saw the opportunity and froze the boss. At this moment, Lu Chen burst out with all his damage. Fierce Tiger descends the mountain. Wind Blast. After one round, Lu Chen burst out with 22,000 plus damage. The boss' huge body twisted crazily in the fridge. It looked like it was about to break out of the ice seal. 4,000 HP left. Hurry up and use Vein Blockade. Whether or not he could kill the boss would depend on the Vein Blockade. With a bang, the fridge exploded. Roar. The boss roared angrily. It lifted its huge foot and was about to stomp down. It looked like the boss was about to recover a lot of HP. The 4 words that came late finally appeared. Vein Blockade. The boss had already lifted its foot, but it was forcefully held back. With the last attack, Lu Chen finally killed the golden-furred demonic macaque. Damn, that was too close. If I let it recover a lot more HP, my stamina won't be able to keep up. Lu Chen let out a long sigh of relief. Damn, I'd rather fight the golden-furred demonic macaque than the golden-furred demonic macaque. No matter what was said, Lu Chen had finally killed the boss. Killed golden-furred demonic macaque, level 30 enhanced physique boss. Obtained 300,000 world aura. Obtained 10 rank 6 talent fragments. Obtained 10 rank 6 evolution points. Another 2 million reputation points. Awesome, Lu Chen excitedly said. Ding. Obtained Monkey King's Vitality Jacket. Level 30 purple, *5. Obtained Monkey King's Vitality Pants. Level 30 blue, *5. Obtained level 30 Monster Core, green, *5. Lu Chen directly checked the equipment's stats. This time his luck was not off the charts. Out of the 5 Monkey King's outfits, the best one was a +1 enhancement. Monkey King's Vitality Jacket +1, level 30 blue. Defense. Physical defense 94, spiritual defense 30. Just by looking at the defense, the Monkey King's outfits were worthy of being a level 30 purple equipment. His spiritual defense actually increased by 30. It already surpassed the +3 Monkey King's boots. Strength, 55 agility, 55 vitality, 330, special effect. When the Monkey King's HP is lower than 10%, activate the Monkey King's blood reversal. Increase control immunity by 35%. Step on the ground, causing enemies within 15 meters to be stunned for 3 seconds. Obtain the Monkey King's blood reversal effect and recover 80% of your HP within 3 seconds. Cooldown, 600 seconds. Damn, this skill is too awesome. No wonder it was so hard to get blocked meridians. Increase control immunity by 35%. Moreover, stun for 3 seconds and recover 80% of your HP in 3 seconds. Isn't this equal to having 2 lives? With this special effect, maybe I can try the moon-worshipping blood pool. Chapter 162. The level 30 Monkey King Physique Pants attributes were still heavily skewed. It added 120 points to Constitution, but only 20 points to Strength and Agility. However, the special effect added health recovery after leaving combat and battle recovery. Lu Chen did not hesitate to upgrade it to 3 points and equipped it. My battle recovery is already at 320 points. I should be able to challenge the moon-worshipping blood pool. After a busy day, Lu Chen was also tired. He did not want to challenge the difficult moon-worshipping blood pool in an exhausted state. Early the next morning, Lu Chen bought breakfast and came back. He stretched his muscles and bones in his courtyard. Lu Yi also woke up very early and helped to tidy up the new house. After the siblings were done with their work, they ate breakfast together. As they ate, Lu Yi suddenly said, "Brother, Sister Nguyen seems to like you." Lu Chen almost spat out the soy milk in his mouth. "Don't talk nonsense." "I'm not talking nonsense." Lu Yi looked indifferent. "They don't even know that I'm your sister. Other than brother Ingjun and little Mei, The others only know that I know you. I can feel that Sister Nguyen is especially concerned about you. When it comes to Nameless, she pays special attention. Lu Chen shook his head. I'm the leader, okay? Of course I pay attention. Don't talk nonsense. How did you feel when you went to Mad Waves yesterday? Very good. I think Sister Nguyen is really a good person. She treats the members equally. And the officials don't put on airs at all. Unlike some guilds, a small official instantly becomes a dog. Lu Yi seemed to have a lot of feelings. Moreover, the guild's potential is greater than I imagined. There are many hidden experts. For example, Brother Ingjun, Brother Sheik, and a few fixed team leaders. They are all very skilled. It's just that they didn't have any organization in the beginning, so their development was slower than professional guilds. Lu Chen nodded. Back then, they were able to pass through the poison fog forest as a small team. Their skills are definitely not bad. Alright, brother, there's something I want to tell you. You've learned to be polite with me. It's not about me, but I want to help Sister Nguyen pass on a message, Louis said. Louis said, I heard from Sherbu that 3 management companies have contacted Sister Nguyen and said that they want our guild to help their artists. Lu Chen frowned slightly. He had heard Lung Nguyen and the others mention this business before. However, he did not expect that an economic company would actually find them. Sister Nguyen said that she can't make the decision. Everything has to wait until you go back. Lu Chen chuckled. Let Nguyen decide for herself. I don't care even if I'm in Quang Lang. Okay, got it. Back in the game, Lu Chen stood in front of the Fiend City Ruins instance dungeon, staring at the words on the ruins. This time, he was going to test his agility. Although agility was still not as good as strength and physique, it was still better than agility at the moment. After Lu Chen reached 1000 plus, his attack speed, movement speed, and skill release speed did not increase significantly. However, Lu Chen still planned to grind the dungeon once more. He wanted to get some HP recovery equipment and level up to level 31. The agility test required one to continuously attack the stone door at high speed without using any skills or equipment effects. Agility test result 12/12. Level 5 reward dungeon activated. Level 5 reward not bad. After Lu Chen finished speaking, he prepared to step into the dungeon. Suddenly, he received a telepathic message from 10 miles away. It was a telepathic message from the Red High Heels. Guild Master, Yi told me that you've agreed to let us take on some business. Lu Chen immediately replied, You guys can take it as usual. Red High Heels. Guild Master, then can I take 91% of the income? You take 90%, and the guild takes 10%. Because if our members are assigned to lead the team, we need to give them some compensation for their hard work. Also, the guild needs some funds to buy equipment and materials. Lu Chen. I'm 9%? Then you guys won't be making money. Red High Heels. They're only looking for our guild because of Brother Nameless. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to get the job. Lu Chen. How much are they offering? Red High Heels. There are 3 companies that we're talking to now. The price is around 500,000. Lu Chen was a little surprised. The other party offered such a low price? Lu Chen. It's too cheap. Tell them that the lowest price is 3 million. Red High Heels. 3 million. We're actually not a professional team. Isn't this price a little too high? Lu Chen. The lowest price is 3 million. Tell them that this is the price for the first batch. In the future, Wild Wave's price will only be higher and not lower. Red High Heels. Brother Nameless. If you're willing to lead the team personally, people will definitely fight for this price. But if Wild Waves is the one leading the team, I'm a little afraid that the negotiations will fall through. Lu Chen smiled and said, I don't have time to lead the team. If it falls through, then so be it. What's there to be afraid of? There will be a lot of people looking for Wild Waves in the future. Also, change the ratio to 55%. The other guilds have a lot of funds now. If you want to compete with them, you can't do without funds. Red High Heels. Oh, got it. Turning off the telepathic message, Lu Chen directly entered the Fiend City Ruins. Celestial Mountain Main City, Wild Waves Guild Hall. The core members of the guild were receiving guests. What? 3 million? A middle-aged man looked at Lung Nua in shock. He was an artist manager under Huawei Film. This price is equivalent to the price of a first-tier professional guild. Are you sure this is the right price? Lung Nua said indifferently. Yes, this is the price of Wild Waves. After joining the guild, we will have someone in charge of leading the team. However, your artists can only join the third group and must listen to our arrangements. The representative of Dawn Global Film and Television snorted. Lung Nua, are you crazy about money? 3 million? If Nameless leads the team personally, this price is not a problem at all. But you already said that Nameless won't lead the team. So why does Wild Waves, a ragtag team, want 3 million? Lung Nua said seriously. We are indeed not a professional guild, but you know very well in your heart. Why don't you look for a professional team instead of Wild Waves? Because we have the strongest team leader in the entire server. 10 Steps also said, we are a ragtag team. Nameless doesn't care about anything. But you can ask which professional team dares to provoke Wild Waves? Blossoming Jixiang said, our guild has a divine beast. Do other guilds have one? Besides, Nameless will occasionally show up. Lung Nua said, this is the first time we are opening this business. That's why we have such a good price. In the future, our price will only be higher, not lower. In fact, Lung Nua was also a little nervous. Her own small company had never negotiated with such a loud voice. However, on the negotiation table, she could not lose her momentum. At least so far, her performance was not bad. You can decide for yourselves. The representatives of the three management companies, Huawei and Dawn, left immediately. A group of casual players, relying on Nameless' name, want 3 million? Only fools would fall for it. With this money, we might as well go to the top guilds like Thunderclap and TT. We can even enjoy the treatment of entering the first group. Wild Waves, what right do you have? Sorry, we don't want to be spendthrifts. Goodbye. Lung Nua was a little disappointed when she saw that 2 deals had fallen through. Guilds were growing bigger and bigger, but they relied on Nameless' reputation. They did not have a source of funds. Now that there was hope to start a new business, it seemed that negotiations had fallen through. During the banquet, the only one that did not make a move was Shangfei Film. Shangfei Film's representative was a female manager called Lu Wen. Lung Nua also knew this manager. She was one of the more well-known and experienced managers in the industry. She had always been known for her shrewdness and decisiveness. Before this, she had not spoken. Until the end, she asked, Nua, is the price not negotiable? Lung Nua shook her head. Sister Lu, I'm sorry. This price cannot be changed. Lu Wen stood up and shook her head helplessly. Seeing Lu Wen's action, Lung Nua no longer had any hope. She turned around and prepared to leave. Suddenly, Lu Wen's voice came from behind. Nua, leave 2 seats for me. Chapter 163. Sister Lu, you said you want 2 spots? Lung Nua could not believe her ears. The astute Sister Lu actually accepted such a price? Sister Lu smiled and said, yes. Of course, I'm just taking a gamble. Maybe my people's leveling speed and violent waves is not as fast as others, but I can see a trend from you. Trend? Sister Lu, what trend are you talking about? Lu Wen said, as long as Nameless is your leader, then violent waves will be the core of the whirlpool. My people need to be at the most eye-catching place. Lu Wen was worthy of being called a golden manager. Her words hit the nail on the head. Violent waves, this motley crew that had not yet stepped on the right track, would definitely become the core of Jiutian. Lu Chen was fighting monsters when he received a message from High-Heeled Shoes. The deal was done. The other party paid 6 million. 3 million had already been transferred to the guild's first account, which was Lu Chen's account. The other 3 million was transferred to the guild's second account. This was Lung Nua's account, so she would make the expenditure public. Lu Chen smiled and shook his head. When he first created Violent Waves, he did not think that he would be able to earn money. The guild had 3 million in funds. Although it was not much, it was a good start. In the future, Violent Waves could truly take off. He raised his head and looked at the golden-haired swift macaque in the boss room. This time, Lu Chen did not dare to be careless and approached it with invisibility. A level 5 dungeon boss would not be easy to deal with. The swift macaque's attack speed was simply abnormal. If it did not count the combo, Lu Chen could attack the boss twice. Damn! This effect can be used to level up. Its movement speed is also so fast. If I don't use crowd control, it's simply invincible. Luckily, this guy's attack and health were not outstanding. Lu Chen had changed a few pieces of equipment, and his strength had greatly increased. In addition, he was very careful this time, so he defeated the boss in half an hour. Killed golden-haired raptor macaque, level 34 enhanced physique boss. Obtained 300,000 auras. Obtained 10 6th rank talent fragments. Obtained 10 6th rank evolution points. Ding! Obtained item wishful staff. Level 30 purple, *1. Golden macaque. Level 30 blue, *1. Level 30 monster core green *5. Fuck, what the hell? Why is there only one piece of equipment from the level 5 reward? Lu Chen was furious. Was the system playing with him? Check the wishful staff. Wishful staff, level 30 purple. It is said that this long staff was once used by that monkey when he was cultivating. That monkey? Which one? Lu Chen's face was gloomy. Even so, was this the reason why you only dropped one? Physical attack 134 to 208. Strength 174. Agility 280. Physique 104. Critical rate plus 18%. Critical damage plus 20%. Special effect 1. Earth-shattering chasm. Attack the ground in a specific direction. The huge explosive force will cause the ground to collapse, creating a chasm that is 100 meters long and 15 meters wide. Physical attack x3, 6,411 points. Damage will be dealt, and the target will be stunned for 3 seconds. Cooldown, 300 seconds. Special effect 2 clone. Create an illusion. The illusion inherits 30% of the body's attributes and receives 300% damage. Duration, 120 seconds. Cooldown, 300 seconds. Special effect 3, tree climb. Jump on a tree and jump between trees. The jump distance is 30 meters. You can carry at most one friendly unit while jumping. Lu Chen was shocked. Fuck, what kind of special effect is this? Is tree climb serious? Why do I have this skill? Tree climb was the first to be ridiculed by Lu Chen. In addition to this special effect, the other 2 special effects of the wishful staff were godly. Needless to say, the earth-splitting chasm was a 100-meter long and 15-meter wide chasm. It also had 6,000 plus damage and 3 seconds of stun. It was simply explosive. What excited Lu Chen the most was the second special effect, clone. In many games, clone was always a first-line skill. There were too many uses for clone. It could disrupt the enemy's judgment, transfer aggro, provide damage, and so on. It was very useful. Although the clone's attack power was only 30%, and it had to suffer more damage, under the support of Lu Chen's super high attributes, this clone could still fight very well. Fuck this, what should I do? Which one should I use, Tiger's Sob or the staff? Tiger's Sob's special effect was also very strong. Fierce Tiger descends the mountain provided a combo attack, while Tiger's Roar converted the physical attack into a spiritual attack. This was the core special effect of the Titanic Slash. Lu Chen wanted all of these special effects. By the way, the equipment can be strengthened. Can it be fused? Lu Chen frowned. Players can't fuse directly. It seems that I have to go to Lingxiao City first. After making up his mind, Lu Chen temporarily ignored the wishful staff and casually glanced at the remaining loot. There was also a level 30 blue golden macaque. Only one was dropped. Looking at the name, he did not know where it came from. Golden macaque, take a look. Golden macaque, level 30 blue. Summon the Mount Golden Macaque after use. Poof, Lu Chen almost vomited blood. It's a mount. In front of him, a 3D image of a huge monkey appeared. It looked very similar to the 3 bosses in the Fiend City ruins. Increase movement speed by 70% after riding. Lu Chen immediately used the item. Suddenly, a huge golden macaque appeared in front of him. It was more than 8 meters tall. Standing in front of Lu Chen, it looked like a giant monster. This guy looked fierce. The wings of its nose were angry. Its hands were on the ground, and its body was covered with golden hair. It looked majestic. Damn, the Jyotian mount is so big. This is a blue mount. It looks like a boss. The golden macaque stood there, looking around as if waiting for something. Lu Chen frowned and said, "Golden macaque, what are you looking at? Your master is here." After the golden macaque saw Lu Chen, it opened its palm in front of Lu Chen. Lu Chen immediately understood and walked up. The golden macaque lifted Lu Chen and put him on its shoulder. Lu Chen only felt that he was standing on the edge of a 10-story building. Unfortunately, he was still in the dungeon and could not see anything. He immediately said, "Exit the dungeon." After leaving the dungeon, Lu Chen felt the feeling of looking down at the mountains. Damn, the experience is so real. This mount is too domineering. Lu Chen stood on the shoulder of the golden macaque and looked at the surrounding forest. His vision was much wider than before. Right, I should equip the wishful staff first. I'll climb the tree to see. After changing his equipment, Lu Chen jumped up and landed directly on a tree. Then he jumped again and jumped to another tree. He had a lot of fun. Haha, interesting. Golden macaque, I'll try to jump on you. Lu Chen jumped up and landed firmly on the shoulder of the golden macaque. Haha, cool. I suddenly realized that climbing trees is the essence of Jyotian. In the world of Xianxia, shouldn't one be able to leap over roofs and vault over walls? Golden macaque, go to Firmament City first. If I can equip it, I'll use this staff. Chapter 164. With a mount, Lu Chen's movement speed had almost doubled. He arrived at Firmament City in 7 or 8 minutes. Firmament City was much bigger than Celestial Mountain. The city was built directly on top of a mountain peak. The city walls were more than 10 meters tall, taller than Golden Retriever. It occupied a large area and looked majestic. So this is a level 30 main city. Currently, there were only 3 main cities in Jyotian. The level 10 Celestial Mountain main city was a combination of 3 novice regions. During this period of time, it was a place for players to develop. Unless there were a lot of players in the Wuxia server, the competition would not be too intense. Level 30 Firmament City was different. 10 Celestial Mountain main city players would share one Firmament City. The number of players in Wuxia had exceeded 400 million. 400 million players, and only 30 Firmament main cities. One could imagine how intense the competition would be in Firmament City in the future. After Firmament City, there would be level 50 main cities. At that time, all the servers in each country would be combined into one main city. It would truly become one main city per server. The official statement from Skyline was that after level 50, the 5 continents would be combined into one server. At that time, Jyotian would only have 5 servers. At the same time, it was rumored that Skyline would open up the second heaven after the mortal domain. Of course, this was just a rumor. The actual situation would depend on the official announcement. In front of Firmament City, a group of level 70 elite soldiers were patrolling. When they saw a player approaching, the soldiers quickly surrounded Lu Chen. Riding is prohibited in Firmament Immortal Land. Lu Chen was shocked at first. He thought that they were going to attack him. Level 70 elite. It seemed that they were not to be trifled with. Lu Chen immediately jumped down from Golden Retriever and kept it in the stable. Seeing that the player had dismounted, the soldiers dispersed and continued patrolling. Lu Chen then entered the main city. There were many NPCs in the city. There were shops, job centers, pedestrians, and residents. They were all dressed in ancient clothing and were busy with their own things. Compared to Firmament City, the Celestial Mountain main city was like a countryside. Heavenly Travel's planner is really a genius. It's a freak, but the setting is really good. Even Lu Chen couldn't help but praise. In this city, Lu Chen was the only player. Lu Chen did not feel lonely at all. He felt as if he was in a city of 10,000 people. Where is the weapon refiner? Lu Chen wandered around the city and finally found a shirtless blacksmith forging in a corner of the market. Lu Chen walked over and asked, "Can you fuse the special effect of one piece of equipment with another?" The blacksmith stopped the hammer in his hand and sized up the person in front of him. "You can, but you're not a member of the Craftsmen's Association. We don't help outsiders fuse weapons." Lu Chen heaved a long sigh of relief. At least it was possible. Finally, he did not have to do multiple choice questions. Then I want to know what materials are needed to transfer the special effect of Tiger Sob to the wishful long staff. The blacksmith waved his arm, and a menu appeared in front of Lu Chen. Fusion requirements. Transfer the special effect of Tiger Sob, level 15 purple, to the wishful long staff, level 30 purple. Fusion special effect. Tiger descends the mountain, Tiger Roar. Upgradable special effect. Critical hit, explosive damage. Requires a 5-star weapon refiner. Materials required for each fusion or upgrade of a special effect. Requires +4 wishful long staff x1. Consumes Tiger Sob x5. Disappears after fusion. Level 30 beast core green. x5. Any monkey essence material. White x500 gold coins x100. Damn, it's so expensive. Lu Chen realized that he had to pay such a high price to retain a special effect. Even if Tiger Sob was cheap now, and could be bought with a few thousand coins, the other materials were all expensive. If converted into RMB, the required funds would be at least 1 million. It was estimated that most people would rather change their equipment than fuse it. However, these materials were nothing to Lu Chen. He just needed to clear the Fiend City ruins a few more times. The key was that it required a 5-star weapon refiner, which was more troublesome. Can you apply to join the Craftsmen's Association? Yes, you need to pay 100 copper coins to join the Craftsmen's Association. Then I'll apply to join. After paying the entrance fee, Lu Chen's ability menu had an additional weapon refining. His current weapon refining level was 0. After carefully studying this auxiliary profession, Lu Chen had a clear understanding of it. After becoming a weapon refiner, he could consume pure spiritual energy to improve his profession proficiency through dismantling, forging, strengthening, fusing, and other operations. To upgrade to a 5-star weapon refiner, can I dismantle the blue equipment in my backpack? Your weapon refining level is 0, no profession level bonus. It's fine if there is no bonus. I have to practice anyway. Lu Chen thought about it and decided not to dismantle the equipment. Instead, he decided to strengthen the equipment. After dismantling the equipment, there would only be a pile of materials left. He did not have a weapon refining blueprint, so it was useless to put them in his backpack. He had enough equipment in beast cores to strengthen many times. The strengthened equipment could be sold for money, just enough to clear his backpack. Right. I might not have enough pure spiritual energy to strengthen so many equipment. Let's go to the elixir room and see if there are spirit gathering pills for sale. The elixir room was not far away. After browsing the goods, Lu Chen found that the elixir room of a level 30 main city was indeed much more advanced than the elixir sold in the Immortal Mountain main city. The healing potions here were in large quantities and could restore 2000 HP. There were also similar spirit gathering pills for sale, but the spirit gathering pill was called miscellaneous spirit gathering pill. It could replenish 2000 points of miscellaneous spirit and cost 50 silver coins. The concentration of pure spiritual energy in the miscellaneous spirit gathering pill was relatively low. It could only be used to replenish the pure spiritual energy in the elixir. When used in battle, the effect was only half of the pure spiritual energy. Moreover, if he wanted to break through the elixir, not only could he not use the miscellaneous spirit gathering pill, but if he used it before, he would also have to expel all the miscellaneous spirit and cultivate pure spiritual energy again. This thing is quite useful. When fighting, if I don't have enough pure spiritual energy, I can use it to replenish it. Moreover, I'm using it for strengthening now. It doesn't matter if there is any miscellaneous spirit, but 50 silver coins is a bit expensive. Let's start with 1000 sets. Lu Chen spent 250 gold coins and bought a large amount of miscellaneous spirit gathering pills. After spending 250 gold coins, Lu Chen still had 2,400 gold coins on him. These were all earned from his personal dungeon. But even so, Lu Chen could feel the effect of gold coins. It was starting to show. It would be best if he had time to expand the dungeon scale and earn more gold coins. After finding a quiet place, Lu Chen began to strengthen his equipment. Monkey King Belt +1 strengthening successful. Obtain 20 refiner proficiency. Monkey King Belt +2 strengthening successful. Obtained 50 refiner proficiency. +3 strengthening successful. Obtained 100 refiner proficiency. Consumed miscellaneous spirit gathering pill. Increased by 2,000 points of miscellaneous spirit. Your refiner level has risen to level 1. You can now purchase new refiner blueprints. Lu Chen continuously increased his proficiency until his stamina was exhausted. But after a short rest, he continued to strengthen. The large amount of blue equipment in his backpack slowly decreased. All that was left were all +3 equipment. And Lu Chen's Monkey King equipment had all reached the upper limit. Chapter 165. Your blacksmith level has been upgraded to 5 stars. You can now purchase equipment from the blacksmith star. Damn, it's finally done. Lu Chen breathed a sigh of relief. It took him 3 to 4 hours just to upgrade his blacksmith level. Today is the Agility Termination City dungeon. Let's quickly upgrade the Jingu staff to level 4. The drop rate of the wishful staff was not high. It only dropped one at a time. Since Lu Chen had the golden macaque mount, the golden macaque did not drop a single piece. Lu Chen farmed 10 times before he upgraded the wishful staff to level 4. After the upgrade, the wishful staff's critical hit was higher than Tiger Sob, but its damage was lower. Lu Chen hesitated for a moment, and chose to ensure the damage. The effect he wanted was that once a critical hit, the damage would be off the charts. It's not easy. Let's fuse. Not long after, a new wishful staff was freshly produced. Wishful staff, strengthening +4, fusion +3. Wishful staff, level 30 purple. It is said that this staff was used by the monkey when he was training. Attack physical attack 204 to 308. Strength 254, agility 440, physique 184. Critical hit +22%. Critical hit +180%. Fusion, special effect 1, earth-splitting chasm. Creates a chasm 150 meters long and 20 meters wide. Physical attack x4, 10,932 points. Damage will be dealt, and the target will be stunned for 3 seconds. Cooldown time is 300 seconds. Special effect 2 clone creates a fantasy. The fantasy inherits 50% of the original body's attributes, and receives 200% damage. Duration, 180 seconds. Cooldown time, 300 seconds. Special effect 3. Tree climb. Can jump on a tree and jump between trees. The jump distance is 45 meters. The jump can carry up to 2 friendly units. Special effect 4. Fusion Tiger descends the mountain. Special effect 5. Fusion Tiger roar. The description of the wishful staff was pulled out in a long row at once. It feels like a god's equipment. Now Lu Chen was level 3. In addition to a large number of equipment, the Monkey King's 5 blue equipment were all +3, and the Monkey King's 3 purple equipment were all +4. He opened and looked at his final attributes. Quality, 5 star, Stage 2, Level 3 level, 148900/14, 000, Body strength, 2285 basic 884 plus equipment 1225 plus title 176. Agility, 1908. Basic 884 plus equipment 1024. Constitution, 2163. Basic 884 plus equipment 1190 plus title 89. Spiritual power intensity. Spiritual power, 121. Spiritual pill 121. 115/12100, pure spiritual energy. Attack, physical attack. 2733 to 2837 poison attack. 10 defense. Physical defense 1789. Basic 442 plus equipment 1158 plus title 88. Magic defense. 92 HP. 52,796. Basic 22680 plus equipment 23800 plus title 6316. Damn! The Fiend City Ruins is indeed the true foundation of a level 30 map. Now that I've maxed out this set of equipment and leveled up, all my attributes have doubled. Lu Chen twirled the new weapon in his hand. He was indescribably fond of it. My equipment really makes me feel like a great sage. Almost all of the Monkey King's equipment were gold equipment. There was a red cloak and a long staff. The only thing missing was the Monkey King's crown. I wonder if there's a Monkey King's crown. If there is, I'll change my Zombie King mask. Then I'll basically have everything. By the way, I wonder if my tree climbing can help me cross the moon-worshipping blood pool. On this day, Lu Chen leveled up again and cleared the dungeon 10 times in a row. He was tired enough. Even if he could go to the moon-worshipping blood pool, he did not want to go. Rest. Lu Chen thought of the 50-day opening event on the official website and planned to check it out again. As soon as he entered the official website, Lu Chen found a piece of news published on the official website. The news was in the form of an interview. A reporter was interviewing the person in charge of a film company. Mr. Xia, has Huawei Film arranged for their artists to join the professional team? Of course. Everyone has noticed that Jiutian is actually the best film and television base. A large number of difficult filming tasks can be achieved in the game, providing a large amount of real scenes. This is more realistic than adding special effects in the later stage. It also saves more money. I believe that in the future, more film and television companies will transfer their business to Jiutian. Then Mr. Xia, can you reveal the budget of Huawei's artist training program and the specific teams we've worked with? Mr. Xia smiled slightly and appeared to be particularly confident. Our budget has no upper limit. The reason is simple. It's because we need to constantly train new people. This is a long-term plan. As for the teams we work with, Huawei will naturally find the top professional teams in the country, such as ESD, TT and Zhonglong. Just the current cooperation amount alone has reached 38 million. 38 million? Yes, the investment in this area cannot be reduced. Of course, the allocation of the top players and the newcomers is different. Good steel should be used on the blade's edge. As Mr. Xia spoke, he suddenly laughed. Speaking of which, I heard something very interesting today. Oh, what interesting thing did Mr. Xia come across? Can you share it with the audience? Director Xia smiled mysteriously. I think that since this market has just started, it's not very regulated. That's understandable. However, I think that the Heavenly Line officials should take care of the actions of some teams. They're asking for sky-high prices. The reporter didn't know how to respond and could only listen to Mr. Xia continue. Take Wild Waves for example. Everyone knows that the guild leader of Wild Waves is Nameless. I admit that Nameless is very strong. But everyone also knows that Nameless basically doesn't care about Wild Waves. Thus, Wild Waves is actually a guild that even a third-rate guild would have a hard time squeezing into. For such a new guild, Huawei is also in the spirit of mutual support and mutual benefit. We found them and hope to work with them to train our newcomers. Guess what happened in the end? Our offer was 500,000. For an 18th-rate guild, that's already considered high. In the end, they asked for 3 million. 3 million? I'd look for a guild like you for 3 million? What a joke. The reporter immediately expressed his attitude. Tianqing wasn't willing to accept the price set by any guild. Chairman Xia did not dare to offend Tianqing. So he said, I understand, but the main reason I'm bringing this up here is to tell other interested organizations and individuals to think rationally before cooperating. Do you think the other party is worth the price? Lu Chen narrowed his eyes slightly. What was the meaning of this? The collaboration didn't go through, and they went to the official website to promote it? Look at the comments below the video. Wild Waves is a third-rate guild without Nameless? You're overestimating them. 3 million? They must be crazy for money. Nameless doesn't care about Wild Waves at all. Only a fool would sign it. Trash guild. Everyone look carefully. Don't work with them. Huawei wanted to create pressure from public opinion. Lu Chen snorted coldly. After thinking about it, he logged back into the game. Nuanyuan, you said we signed 2 deals? Yes, guild leader. That guild leader. I was just about to look for you. I talked to 3 parties today. After one of them fell through, during the interview. I know about this. Tell the 2 newcomers to wait for me at the Celestial Mountain in 20 minutes. Tell them that I'll train them for an hour. Lu Chen's tone was obviously unhappy. Ask Little Ming to do a live broadcast. This guild leader. Okay, I'll arrange it. Chapter 166. In the territory of Mad Waves, the level 19 Shang Fei Wenwen was standing in the guild hall with two newcomers, a boy and a girl, waiting anxiously. These two people were Shang Fei's two artists. They were very good-looking. The boy had a noble temperament while the girl was fresh and elegant, without losing her beauty. They were young, around 20 years old, full of youthful energy. Both of them had great potential, but from their innocent eyes, it was obvious that they were newcomers. Sister Lu, are we going to join this guild? The boy's ID was Son of the Wind. He was around 1.8 meters tall and was very handsome. I heard that God of War never cares about this place. It really feels ordinary. The girl also looked lazy and said impatiently, "They actually want us to wait here? It feels like they're so arrogant." Sister Lu, did you really agree to let them broadcast? Although God of War will personally guide us, it will only be for an hour. I think they're just using us to promote themselves. That's right, Sister Lu. You shouldn't have agreed to it. An hour is too perfunctory. Even if God of War guides us, how much can we level in an hour? You still want us to wait here for so long? Lu Wen shook her head and looked at the two. Don't talk so much nonsense. You're still newcomers. You're not as famous as Nameless yet. This time, they're doing a broadcast to let you get familiar with them. Remember, when you're fighting monsters, show some magnanimity. No matter what happens, even if you die, you must leave a good impression on the audience. After spending 6 million, Lu Wen naturally paid more attention to the collaboration with Mad Waves. This time, she personally accompanied them, bringing Son of the Wind and Xian to Mad Waves. Oh, got it, Sister Lu. Not long after Lung Nua 10 steps, Ing Jun and the others arrived. Sister Lu, you're here. Lung Nua welcomed them. Sorry to keep you waiting. We just went to organize a broadcast outside. Currently, the number of viewers in the broadcast room has exceeded 23 million. Many people are waiting to watch this broadcast. Lu Wen nodded. It's okay. We only waited for a few minutes. Oh right, how are the fans' reactions? Ing Jun shook his head. The interview video on the official website was too big. Many people seem to have misunderstood Mad Waves. Now, many fans in Little Ming's broadcast room are waiting to see a joke. Lu Wen frowned. Did her prophecy come true so quickly? As soon as he entered the Wild Waves, he immediately became the focus of attention. This time, it did not seem to be very effective against them. Of course, the focus of the vortex might not necessarily be effective. Lu Wen had already mentally prepared herself for this. Nuanyo, I'm going to take a look at the live stream. Well, okay. Lu Wen went offline and entered Xiao Ming's live streaming room. 24 million people. All of this was just to watch that person level up. Lu Wen shook her head. What top celebrity? None of the current top celebrities could be compared to Captain. This is the charm of Jiutian. The fans were obviously not here to see the newcomer. Little Ming was also waiting for that person at the entrance of Wild Waves at the request of the fans. While waiting, the bullet screen did not stay idle. Have you guys noticed that Wild Waves is a little arrogant now? 3 million, that's the price of a first-rate team. They really dared to ask for it. Little Ming, have you joined Wild Waves? Speaking of which, 3 million is really expensive. Even if Nameless comes to carry him once in a while, how much can he level up? It's only for an hour each time. It's as if it's a gift. Shang Fei is also a fool with a lot of money. They signed the contract for the level, not to chase after celebrities. They are celebrities themselves. 3 million is really too much. Lu Wen looked at the bullet screen and realized that the direction of the situation was worse than she imagined. She returned to the game and frowned as she said to Lung Nuanyo, I went to take a look. Many people are criticizing them. Could it be the Internet Water Army? Why don't you guys find some too? I have a long-term team here. Controlling the comments had always been a common method used by management companies. A big boss like Lu Wen naturally had the resources. Lung Nuanyo thought for a while and finally shook her head. Sister Lu, we can't always control the comments. At this time, we have to believe in Captain. Besides, you guys have signed us. We have to make sure that you guys are satisfied. There's no reason for you to control the comments. Lu Wen took the initiative to help control the comments, not because she was worried about wild waves, but because she was worried that these people would affect the comments of her artists. Lung Nuanuo's words made her feel a little relieved. Alright then, let's go to the entrance and wait. Everyone arrived outside Wild Wave's territory and looked into the distance anxiously. Not long after, they saw a huge figure in the distance. It was moving quickly toward them. Fuck, what is that? 10 Steps stared with his eyes wide open. His face was full of shock. In a moment, the huge beast had already arrived at the entrance of the Celestial Mountain. It then stopped there. The huge figure of 8 meters tall made everyone in the main city of the Celestial Mountain look over in horror. Golden hair, a ferocious face, and a thick body. It was majestic and terrifying. Boss. Fuck, the boss is attacking the city. Come quickly. There's a boss attacking the city. Fuck, what kind of boss is this? Little Ming was trying his best to get close to the boss. Fuck, why is there a boss in the Celestial Mountain? This is too magical. The live stream was also in an uproar. Is it the 50th day celebration? Impossible. The officials said that they want to combine the regions first before holding the celebration. There's no such thing in the other regions. Is this boss lost? At this moment, a player who ran to the city wall suddenly shouted, "There's someone on the boss' shoulder." Everyone's gaze instantly shifted to the boss' shoulder. There was a person sitting there. He was dressed in golden armor, and his back was leaning against the boss' neck. The boss' golden hair covered most of his body, so no one noticed him at first. But now when everyone saw this person, they were all in an uproar. How can someone stand on the boss' shoulder? That's too cool. Is this guy a player or an NPC? Lu Chen was really tired. It would take 10 to 20 minutes to run from Firmament City to the Celestial Mountain. He might as well take a short rest on the golden hair's back. Roar. The golden hair roared, scaring the group of people. Oh no, the boss is about to attack. Where are the city guards? Everyone prepare to fight. This roar woke Lu Chen up. He opened his eyes slightly and looked around. We're here. Got it. Why are you shouting so loudly? Lu Chen shook his head. This alarm sound was a little exaggerated. He stood up and realized that at least 1,000 people on the Celestial Mountain were looking at him in horror. These people had nothing to do with him. He looked into the distance again. With his eyesight, he naturally saw Lung Nua and the others. Lu Chen stood up and said calmly, "Golden hair, let's go over there." The golden armor was particularly eye-catching. The red cloak behind him fluttered violently in the wind. Lu Chen stood alone on the giant monkey's shoulder, looking down at everyone. Roar! With a shocking roar, the golden hair turned around and ran towards the territory of violent waves. Lu Wen had been in the business and entertainment circles for many years. She had always been a capable and strong woman, but now her whole body was trembling. Lu Wen trembled and pulled Lung Nua. Nua, that person. Lung Nua's gaze was mixed with an indescribable feeling. Admiration, pride, but she could tell Lu Wen with certainty. That's right, it's him. Chapter 167. Xian looked up at the golden-haired giant monkey in front of her, and her heart was pounding. The man standing on top of it was really, like a saint. He was really too handsome. This is too cool, Son of the Wind said excitedly. All the arrogance and impatience from before disappeared the moment they saw the god of war. At this moment, even if it was their first time seeing the god of war, it still made the two newcomers tremble. The next moment, an even more shocking scene happened. Nameless jumped directly and fell from the 8-meter-tall giant monkey. This was also thanks to the tree-climbing special effect of the wishful pole. With this special effect, Lu Chen had the ability to jump from high places. Otherwise, he would have to wait for the golden retriever to take him down. A golden red figure landed gracefully. Lu Chen walked towards the crowd. Leader. Lu Chen nodded. Who are the two I'm bringing? Lung Nua hurriedly pulled Zihao and Xian. Leader, this is Shang Fei, signed artist. Oh, and Sister Lu. Lung Nua turned back and pulled Lu Wen. Leader, this is Sister Lu. Sister Lu, this is our leader. When Lu Wen saw Nameless, she did not know why her heart was beating so fast, even though she was already in her 30s. Lu Chen spoke first. Hello, Sister Lu. Thank you for choosing Wild Wave. The god of war called her Sister Lu? Lu Wen's mood, which had just calmed down a little, suddenly became excited again. That you flatter me. Nameless leader, I've heard a lot about you. Nameless smiled and nodded. He then looked at Son of the Wind and Xian Xian, who were now staring at Lu Chen with infatuation. The legendary god of war was standing in front of them. Previously, he was wearing the Tiger King set, but in the blink of an eye, he had changed to the Great Saint set. They had never seen such a set of equipment before. Wasn't it a little too cool? From the faint fog emitted by the equipment, it felt like Nameless was already wearing a set of purple equipment. In fact, Nameless only had 3 pieces of purple equipment on him. The Monkey King coat, the Monkey King boots, and the Wishful Staff. He did not even wear the Zombie King mask. After all, he said that he would personally lead the team. However, the purple aura emitted by these 3 pieces of equipment was more conspicuous than the other blue equipment on his body. Moreover, it covered his entire body, making him look like a full set of purple equipment. Son of Wind, Xian Xian, hello, Lu Chen said with a smile. War God Nameless. The Son of Wind widened his eyes. War God was greeting him so cordially. Legend has it that the god of war was a decisive and merciless killer. Brother Nameless, is that boss your mount? Xian Xian could not control her curiosity and asked carefully. Boss? Oh, you mean Golden Retriever? It's my mount. I have 3 on me right now, Lu Chen said indifferently. In Xiaoming's live streaming room, the fans were in an uproar. Damn, a mount! The first mount in the entire server. Fuck, so this is the Jiotian's mount? Are they using a boss as their mount? This is too fucking awesome. This is crazy, it's actually a mount. I'm craving for it. Isn't this too cool? Help, I really want one. Jealousy has made me ugly. Is there any justice in this world? Brother Nameless didn't even have a mount the last time. Why did he suddenly get such a big one? I'd rather it be a boss attacking a city. I want to sit on it. It must be super cool. I want to sit on it too. What kind of feeling is that? I really want to experience it. The Golden Retriever was not a boss. It was Nameless' mount. Xian Xian took a deep breath. Nameless was too strong. The Son of Wind realized that his team leader was not as fierce as the rumors said. He also asked, Team leader, how many pieces of purple equipment do you have on you right now? Lu Chen did not hide anything and said, I have 3 pieces on me. There's also a mask that I don't want to wear anymore. The group of people vomited blood. Nothing to live for. And you don't want to wear another mask? Was that even something a human would say? You have purple equipment, but you don't want to wear it? Oh my god. Nameless already has 4 pieces of purple equipment. The clothes should be purple. There are also shoes. What else is there? Are you stupid? It must be a weapon. That weapon emits purple energy too. Fuck, I only have 3 pieces of blue equipment. Nameless already has a set of godly equipment? Where did you get this set of clothes? It's too cool. I want it so much. Xiaoming, hurry up and run. Let us take a closer look. Xiaoming was also helpless. He went to look at the boss, and was instantly left behind by Nameless. Now he had to run back. It was getting late. Lu Chen wanted to go to bed early. He said to the Son of Wind and Xian Xian, Are you ready? Let's hurry up. I'm a little tired. I can only carry you for an hour. The 2 of them nodded excitedly. At this moment, Xiaoming also rushed over panting. Team leader, Lu Chen smiled. You've worked hard. I didn't see you just now. Otherwise I would have brought you here. How about this, Nuanyuan Xiaoming? I'll bring you along. Lu Chen sent out a team invitation. Lung Nuanyuan was a little hesitant. Team leader, let's not split the EXP. Otherwise I'm afraid that some people will say. Lu Chen shook his head. I didn't say that I would only bring 2 people. It's fine. You don't need much EXP to level up. If others want to say something, let them say it. You 2 can accept it. Since their team leader had spoken, Xiaoming and Lung Nuanyuan couldn't say anything else. The team of 5 was already full. Xia City. The manager of a large farming team immediately received a call. Hello, Director Xia. Xiao Zhang. Nameless can only carry for an hour. Now that we have 2 more people, we can split the EXP with Shangfei's newbies. Take advantage of this, and scold them as much as you can to bring up the tempo. Alright, Director Xia. I'll arrange it immediately. Not long after, Xiao Ming's live broadcast room was flooded with comments. Wild Waves is indeed a trash guild. Nameless finally came out to carry people. And now we have to split the EXP with 2 more people. That's right. How much EXP will Shangfei's newbies get? Shangfei's 3 million is wasted. Only a fool will work with Wild Waves in the future. Xiao Ming took a look at the situation in the live broadcast and shared it with Lung Nuanyuan. Lung Nuanyuan whispered to Lu Chen. Team leader, there are already people scolding in the live broadcast. Why don't we leave the team? Xiao Ming can just follow and film. Lu Chen didn't care. Don't worry about it. Lu Chen reached out and grabbed Son of the Wind and Xian Xian's arms. Are you ready? The 2 of them looked at Nameless strangely. Team leader, this is... Lu Chen smiled. With 1 foot on the ground, he leaped up with the 2 of them and jumped directly onto Golden Retriever's shoulder. Coincidentally, the Golden Retriever suddenly roared angrily. Sister Lu had previously reminded them to pay attention to their image. In the end, who cared about that now? The 2 of them were so scared that they hurriedly grabbed onto Golden Retriever's fur. Golden Retriever, be quiet. Golden Retriever pouted unhappily and felt wronged. He was just bored. Lu Chen patted Golden Retriever. They'll be scared by you. Don't mess around. Jumping down from Golden Retriever, Lu Chen grabbed Lung Nuanyuan and Xiao Ming's arms. Should we go up? I am scared. Lung Nuanyuan couldn't care less about her identity as the vice team leader. She was so scared that she hugged Lu Chen's arm tightly. Lu Chen smiled and jumped up, placing the 2 of them on Golden Retriever's shoulder. Lung Nuanyuan grabbed Golden Retriever's fur tightly and shrunk to the side. I'm a little afraid of heights. Me too. It's so scary standing up there. Lu Chen shook his head. If they were scared, what would happen if Golden Retriever ran away? Forget it, it's better not to say so. Otherwise, they wouldn't dare to sit. Xiao Ming, start the timer. I only have 1 hour. Okay, team leader. It's 10:13 now. Lu Chen nodded and patted Golden Retriever. Let's go. To Stone Gate World. Chapter 168. The Stone Gate World was located in the depths of mass graves. There were many nightmare spirits here, but their levels were too low. Lu Chen had not been here for a long time. Wow, so many headless flying corpses. Their levels are so high. Son of the Wind curiously looked at the monsters that kept emerging from the ground. He was only level 18. He had never even been to mass graves, let alone go so deep. The golden-haired macaque moved very quickly. Soon, everyone saw the towering stone gate. On the bullet screen, the players asked curiously, what is that place? Is it a high-level dungeon? Lu Chen let the golden-haired macaque lead everyone through the stone gate. After everyone entered the world of the stone gate, they finally saw the wandering nightmare spirits. No way, they're all level 22 elites? Lu Chen said. You guys go down first and wait at the door. They're all pure spiritual attacks. Don't attract any monsters. I'll be back in a while. The 4 of them were a little nervous. They had never been here before. The golden-haired macaque stretched out its hand in front of its chest. The 4 of them jumped onto the macaque's palm and landed on the ground. After arranging the 4 of them, Lu Chen patted the golden-haired macaque. Its huge body rushed towards the nightmare spirits. Seeing Nameless leave, Son of the Wind was a little surprised. Sister Nua, didn't the leader want to bring us to level? Why did he put us here? Red High Heels said. He probably went to pull the monsters. The leader's AoE is very strong. It's worth it to pull more monsters at once. Xian Xian looked at the wandering glowing figures strangely. Are these things attack high? The leader said that they're pure spiritual attacks. Level 22 elites shouldn't have much spiritual attacks, so their damage shouldn't be too high. In Little Ming's live broadcast, there were still many Ghost Riders. Spiritual attack monsters? They're such a good place. No wonder Nameless leveled up so quickly. Is this place good? Nameless probably just found a random place. Look, there aren't many monsters here. They're all 2s and 2s. How much can they level up in an hour? Wild Waves is a scammer. He took the money and did it casually. Wild Waves really doesn't have any integrity. When Xiao Ming saw the feedback in the live broadcast room, he shook his head and said to Lung Nua, Sister Nua, it seems like someone is really leading the way. Should we ban them? Lung Nua thought for a moment. Since Captain said not to interfere, then let's not interfere. At this moment, Son of the Wind, who was also watching the live broadcast, suddenly said, Guild leader, Zhan Long, has started the live broadcast of leading people. Zhan Long. That's right, it's the guild that Hua Rue is working with. Lung Nua then entered the live streaming platform. The popularity of Hua Rue's live stream was not lower than Xiao Ming's. Now, it had 30 million viewers, and the bullet screen was unusually lively. Wow, this is what a professional team should be like. The leader and the 2 vice leaders are personally leading the team. They're going straight into the underground mine dungeon. Did you see the experience bars of those 2 newbies? It's rising so fast. That's awesome. I heard that the contract between Zhan Long and Hua Rue is only worth 4 million. This is the treatment of spending money. Isn't Mad Wave streaming next door as well? They started the live stream first. Until now, those 2 newbies haven't gained any experience at all. They're just standing there like idiots. I don't know what they're doing. Shang Fei is so funny. 2 newbies with a 6 million contract. Nameless is only occasionally leading people. In the end, he's still dragging 4 people. Lung Nua couldn't watch anymore and closed the live stream. She thought about it and sent a message to Lu Chen. Leader, Hua Rue, and the others are also leading people on the live stream. They seem to have found a lot of ghostwriters. Now they've already started the momentum. If we don't find people, it might be more troublesome. Not long after, Lu Chen replied, The most effective thing for ghostwriters is not another ghostwriter. Don't worry and wait for me. I'll be back in about 15 minutes. After receiving the leader's message, Lung Nua took a deep breath and said to Son of the Wind and Xian, Leader will be back in 15 minutes. We'll wait here. 15 minutes? But the leader only led us for an hour. Until now, we haven't gained any levels. Son of the Wind said anxiously. Even though Nameless had the only mount in the entire server, and had a full set of godly equipment, after seeing so many rumors, Son of the Wind was a little anxious. Lung Nua said with certainty, Wait. Son of the Wind was about to say something, but Xian pulled him back. Zaheo, since we've signed the contract, we should believe in Wild Waves. Xian was no longer as panicked as she was when she mounted her mount. Instead, she said firmly, Now that we are members of Mad Waves, we must believe in our leader. Son of the Wind finally swallowed the words he wanted to say. He nodded. Okay. Lu Chen had refreshed this map countless times. He knew the way even with his eyes closed. In the past, he relied on running. It would take him 30 to 40 minutes to pull all the monsters in the map to one side. Now Lu Chen's movement speed was much faster. With Golden Retriever, 10 minutes was enough for him to run a lap. Lu Chen calculated the time. After he pulled the monsters away, new monsters would respawn at the original spot. He could pull another wave. 1 wave of 2,000 monsters. 2 waves of 4,000 monsters. However, even with Xiao Niu as bait, the limit was probably 2 waves. If there were more, some of the monsters would definitely lose track of them. Golden Retriever, slow down. There are a lot of monsters behind us. Lu Chen patted Golden Retriever. Golden Retriever understood and slowed down. It was different with the mount. It was much easier to pull the monsters. Golden Retriever was responsible for pulling the monsters. Lu Chen roughly calculated the experience gained from the team members. Lu Chen didn't get any experience from killing level 22 elites. However, this was good. The remaining experience could be distributed to the team members. Under normal circumstances, a Nightmare Spirit gave 1570 experience. Lu Chen's level was too high. After forming a team, he didn't get any experience. Moreover, the team couldn't get his bonus experience. The team's experience bonus was 20%. Divided among 4 people, It was 475 experience per person. It's a little less, but the key is that there are a lot of monsters. 20 minutes later, Zhang Long's dungeon progress had reached 70%. In a short 20 minutes, the newbie's experience had increased by a lot. It was about 60,000 experience. Hahaha, let me tell you. The two idiots next door haven't gained any experience at all. Nameless, they're going to lose their integrity this time. It's okay. Shang Fei has a lot of money. Hua Rui's Chief Xia just received a call from the person in charge of the leaderboards. Chief Xia, why do I feel like we don't need to lead the way? Wild Waves is just shooting himself in the foot. Chief Xia was in a good mood. This time, not only did they teach Wild Waves a lesson, but more importantly, they made their competitor Shang Fei a joke. This move was definitely killing two birds with one stone. Hahaha, little Zhang, no need to be humble. You guys have done a great job. However, we can't let our guard down. Continue to lead the way, and let everyone know how stupid Shang Fei is. Those two newbies are basically useless. After hanging up, Chief Xia's eyes were hazy. He coldly snorted. Nameless? You want to scam me? You're too inexperienced. So what if you're good at gaming? In the business world, I can play you to death. Lu Wen, you really made a mistake this time. 600 for nothing, and you're being scolded like a dog. Ha 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 ha. Your path as a gold manager has come to an end. Lung Nua and the others anxiously looked forward. It was too dark here, and they couldn't see clearly. Leader, it's almost 20 minutes. Lung Nua was also very anxious. Could it be that Wild Wave's first show was really going to be ruined? At this moment, a ball of light gradually appeared in the distance. That ball of light seemed to be getting closer. As it got closer, people realized that it wasn't a ball of light at all. It was formed by the nightmare spirit's weak light. Chapter 169. In front of the ball of light, a black shadow was running towards them. That's... Xian's eyes widened. Leader? To be precise, it was the black shadow left behind by Golden Retriever in the ball of light. Xiaoming's live broadcast room gradually began to stir. Nameless is back. The light emitted by the Bailing is very weak. How can it be so bright? Interestingly, as the ball of light gradually approached, people's mouths slowly opened up like the ball of light. The light emitted by the Bailing was indeed very weak. However, when countless Bailing gathered together, the weak light could also shine brightly. Behind the giant golden monkey, a terrifying army of Bailing finally appeared in people's sight. A large number of Bailing were simply uncountable. They were completely integrated into the collective light, mighty and mighty. This, Xiaoming, who was good at talking, was stunned speechless for a long time. Xian said in horror. How many are there? It's too scary. My hair is standing on end. The Son of Wind gasped. Even if they knew that Nameless was very strong, facing this army of Bailing, they could still feel the incomparable sense of oppression. In the live broadcast room, the Ghostriders instantly fell silent. Previously, they said that Nameless was a waste of time. Now it seemed that it was completely nonsense. Even if they were given 200 minutes, they would not be able to pull so many monsters. Without the Ghostriders splashing dirty water, Xiaoming's live broadcast room suddenly became quiet. This was because the players who were watching the live broadcast were already frightened by this battle. In a moment, the army of Bailing was close at hand. At this distance, the team members could already enjoy the experience sharing. On the giant golden monkey's shoulder, Lu Chen patted Golden Retriever. Xiaonyo, Golden Retriever, go back and rest. Golden Retriever instantly returned to Lu Chen's beast pen. At the same time, Lu Chen, who was still high in the sky, jumped up. At this moment, people seemed to see the figure of the great sage. In the air, Lu Chen pulled out the wishful long staff. Although this long staff was not the real wishful staff, the item description specifically said that the monkey had used it when he was training. The long staff used by the great sage. Well, let's have some fun. In the air, Lu Chen roared, Earth-splitting chasm. The wishful long staff swung down and instantly transformed into a 150-meter-long shadow. It was like a heavenly soldier descending and slamming into the ground. Boom! With a loud explosion, The ground in front of him was instantly torn apart by the staff. A 150-meter long and 20-meter wide trench appeared on the ground. In front of this staff, Lu Chen was as small as an ant. It was hard to imagine that such a small golden red dot could wield such a terrifying staff. Director Xia was smoking a cigar while watching the live broadcast of Wild Waves. When he saw this scene, he was petrified. The cigar in his mouth burned on its own, and Chairman Xia's eyes were wide open. What skill is this? Xiao Ming's live broadcast room had already exploded. Oh my god, is that the great sage's Jingu Bang? This is too strong. This is heaven-defying. What the fuck? Does Nameless even have points? Is he going to destroy the map? As the earth-splitting chasm was a physical attack, the Bailing could avoid being attacked by the plague, so it did not cause any damage. However, Lu Chen did not want to cause damage. First, Lu Chen wanted to consolidate the aggro and not let the monsters behind him run away. Second, it could stun a large number of Bailing, which would help him find the right angle to release the Great Ravager Sweep. At this time, Lu Chen had just landed. Great Ravager Sweep. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. As long as they were hit by the sword energy twice, the Bailing instantly fell to the ground. In just a few seconds, 4,000 Bailing had been killed. The entire live broadcast room was silent. Lu Chen shook his head and sighed. After 20 minutes, it's gone so quickly. Sigh, it's not good at all. No one else dared to continue the next sentence. After a while, the live broadcast room exploded with lag. What the fuck? Is this the mood of an expert? This is not good. Who can tell me, in the eyes of Nameless Bro, what is good? It's too awesome. This is the first time I've seen someone leveling up like this. Where are all the people who were scolding Nameless Bro in Wild Wave? Why is no one saying anything now? It's probably the Internet Water Army. At this time, someone suddenly said, "Don't think that it's the Internet Water Army. Look at little Ming. His experience has only gone up by 10%. Everyone looked, and it was true. D***men. He was as ferocious as a tiger, and his experience increased by 5%? No way. How could he only get so little experience? That's impossible. These monsters are most likely special monsters. They don't have much attack, and their experience is especially low. No wonder Nameless Bro pulled so much." Little Ming was also very confused when he saw the comments. There are so many monsters. How could they only give so little experience? I'm level 18, and my experience to level up is 550,000. How could I only get 50,000 experience? If that was the case, their efficiency was much worse than Zhanlong. Sister Nua, how much experience did you guys get? I got about 1.5 bars. Around 70,000 to 80,000. Son of the Wind said. I'm about the same as Zihao. Lung Nua was also confused. Why did my experience decrease? The group was even more confused. Lung Nua's level was relatively high at level 20, and she needed 1.5 million experience to level up. Before, her experience bar was around 75%, but now it was less than 70%. These people fought level 22 elites, so their experience couldn't be reduced. However, the experience they received was different. It was even less. This was definitely impossible. Lu Chen turned around and saw a group of people with confused faces. What's wrong? Lu Chen walked over. Leader, there's a problem with our experience. We don't have the same amount of experience, and Sister Nua's experience has decreased. Lu Chen frowned. That can't be right. Lung Nua seriously walked to Lu Chen's side. Leader, it's true. Before, my experience was 110,000, and my experience bar was 7.5 bars. But now it's less than 7 bars. When Lu Chen heard this, he was a bit confused. Isn't that normal? Normal? The group looked at their leader with even more astonishment. Lu Chen shook his head. Were these guys stupid? Didn't you see the golden light just now? Golden light? Every time Lu Chen leveled up, it would appear. Normal players would definitely have it too. It was just that the place was full of nightmare elves, so the light was a bit difficult to distinguish. Moreover, everyone's attention was definitely on Lu Chen. Lu Chen also felt that it was funny. There were so many monsters. How could there only be tens of thousands of experience? However, this couldn't be blamed on them. Who asked this group of people to have never seen such monsters before? Moreover, he killed the nightmare elves too quickly. This group of people's experience increased rapidly. If they didn't pay attention, they wouldn't know that their experience bar was no longer the same as before. Let's see your levels. Lu Chen smiled and looked at them. Levels? Little Ming opened his personal interface. Then his entire body was petrified. I'm level 20. I'm level 22. Son of the Wind's eyes widened. My god, I leveled up twice. The difficulty of leveling up in Jiutian was already so terrifying. But now he had leveled up twice? Level 2 in 20 minutes. At this time, the newbies in Huawei were still excited because of the tens of thousands of experience. But Zihao and Xian had already leveled up to level 20. Lung Nua looked at her own personal interface. It clearly said level 21. Lu Chen smiled and shook his head, saying, You don't even know how to level up, are you stupid? Little Ming said in shock. Could this be the experience bar disappearing skill? In a certain mansion, the cigar in Chairman Xiao's mouth fell powerlessly. He looked as if he had lost his soul. Level 2 in 20 minutes. No, impossible. This is impossible. Chapter 170. In Xiaoming's live streaming room, the audience could no longer remain calm. 2 levels in 20 minutes, including the EXP gap between 19 and 20 levels. Fuck, I don't know how to describe it. Nameless leveled up like this? This is Jiutian, the hardest leveling game in history. I'm going crazy. Nameless leveled up by 2 levels? What 2 levels? It's only been 20 minutes. It's definitely more than 2 levels in an hour. Reality has proven that Shang Fei is the one with the best foresight. It's true that good-looking people are lucky. No one knew why people said that good-looking people were lucky. But now, when people looked at Shang Fei and Xian, they would no longer treat them as fools. Fans were often like this. Although Shang Fei's choice was made by Lu Wen, people would only say that Zihao and Xian had high IQ in the future. Lu Wen let out a long sigh of relief. Great. The effect of this public appearance was 10 times better than what she had imagined. The two of them had already gained the favor of many people. The members already knew that they had leveled up. But Lu Chen felt that it was necessary to remind these silly members. Look at your spiritual energy again. Did it increase? Spiritual energy was an attribute that was becoming more and more important. However, there were no shortcuts to increasing one's spiritual energy. Many people were willing to spend hours every day to increase their spiritual energy level. Lu Chen could not get any rewards here. But Lung Nua and the rest should be able to get some pure spiritual energy. Leader, my spiritual energy has also leveled up. Son of the Wind widened his eyes in disbelief. How could it have leveled up? How much did it increase? Son of the Wind quickly calculated. Around 1,000 points. That's about it. The monsters here will definitely drop pure spiritual energy. I pulled 4,000 of them. The 4 of you will each get 1,000 points. Xian took a deep breath. 1,000 points of pure spiritual energy. Even if we were to cultivate in the guild's territory, it would still take 14 hours. This round of pulling monsters brought about a huge increase in profits. Xiaoming asked excitedly, Leader, the fans are very interested in the monsters here. Xiaoming was also doing a live stream for the guild, so Lu Chen answered this question. After thinking about it, Lu Chen said, It can only be considered as a mix of pros and cons. The monsters here give a lot of EXP, and will definitely drop pure aura. However, due to their special species, they never drop equipment. Furthermore, you won't be able to defeat them in a short period of time. Can't fight? Why? Lu Chen also knew that there were many people on the internet, and he was now certain that there was a large number of ghostwriters in the live broadcast room. The best way was to let the facts speak for themselves. It just so happened that the 2 nightmare spirits in front of them had respawned. Lu Chen then said, Little Ming, go find one and fight it. Okay. As a streamer, Little Ming's skills were pretty good. He was a pugilist and was relatively tankier, so he shouldn't be killed instantly. Xiaoming first covered himself with the golden cauldron imperial bell and slowly approached the two nightmare spirits. He quickly rushed towards the nightmare spirits and stabbed out with his sword. Xiaoming was able to launch an attack before the nightmare spirit discovered him. Immune. What? Little Ming was shocked. It would be understandable if he was dodging, but this was immunity. In other words, no matter how high his physical attack was, he wouldn't even be able to forcefully deduct his health. The two nightmare spirits turned around and attacked each other. -973, -966. Little Ming's HP of 5 to 6,000 dropped by a third in an instant. Fuck, I can't take it. At that moment, two sword auras came from afar and easily killed the two nightmare spirits. Little Ming panted as he returned to Lu Chen's side. Leader, these monsters are too strong. Yes, they are immune to physical attacks, and their attacks are all spiritual attacks. That's why you guys are having a hard time fighting them. After seeing Little Ming's experiment, even the ghostwriters in the live broadcast room couldn't find anything to talk about. What pure spiritual energy. We can't beat them at all, okay? Some classes should be able to fight them. It's not worth it. The nightmare spirits have more than 4,000 HP. If we're fighting here for EXP and pure spiritual energy, we might as well kill small monsters or directly cultivate. This means that only high-level players can carry this place. But now, the highest level player is only level 2 or 3. They can't carry this place at all. After witnessing the power of the nightmare spirits, the players realized that only Nameless could carry the Stone Gate world. Fuck, now I understand. Shang Fei's 3 million was not a loss at all. It's not only not a loss, it's a huge profit. Look at Zhan Long. They only have 70 to 80,000 EXP, not to mention pure spiritual energy. They're just putting on a show. The leader and vice leader can't carry them every day. Compared to Wild Waves, they're on a completely different level. I'm just envious of Shang Fei's newbies. Level 18 was only okay, but in the blink of an eye, they're already considered high-level players. The key point was that Lu Chen's carry wasn't over yet. The second wave 20 minutes won. 88 million EXP, 1,000 pure spiritual energy. The third wave 20 minutes won. 88 million EXP, 1,000 pure spiritual energy. In this hour, the four members gained 64 million EXP. Little Ming, Son of the Wind, and Xian went from level 18 to level 22. Cold Glutinous went from level 20 to level 2. She had already entered the top ranks of the country's top players. I'm really impressed. Brother Nameless only took an hour to push Vice Leader Wild Waves to the top. The other 3 went up by 4 levels. Fuck, I can't level up even if I train for a week, but he leveled up in an hour. Is Wild Waves still recruiting? I want to follow Brother Nameless. Nameless 1 hour of carry was over. At the same time, Zhan Long's side had also finished. Hua Rui's 2 newbies gained 220,000 EXP in an hour. As for Shang Fei, there was no need to compare. I suddenly remembered that Hua Rui spent 8 million EXP to sign them. Hahaha, they lost so much. Actually, it can't be considered a loss because most guilds pay this price. But compared to Wild Waves' Sai, I think Hua Rui's boss is going to vomit blood. I heard that Hua Rui looked for Wild Waves and offered 500,000 EXP. 500,000? Dream on. 3 million EXP is already too much. Looking at the messages on the bullet screen, Little Ming explained to Cold Glutinous, and Cold Glutinous walked to Nameless' side. Guild leader, the troll army is really silent. Lu Chen smiled. The fans aren't idiots. For things that they didn't see, the troll army can lead the discussion. Now that everyone has seen it with their own eyes, if they continue to lead the discussion, they'll be digging their own graves. Guild leader, now I understand why you're not worried about the troll army at all. Lu Chen smiled, then looked at Cold Glutinous. If Hua Rui comes back, do you know what to do? Cold Glutinous nodded. I know. Hua Rui moved very quickly. The next morning, Chairman Xia and the others personally came to District 122, Wild Waves territory. Chairman Xia, are we really going to pay 5 million? That's the highest price so far. Did you watch yesterday's live broadcast? Now we have to change the people's impression of Huarue. Also, if Nameless is willing to occasionally carry our people, 5 million is worth it. Just as he walked to the entrance of the territory, he suddenly received a system notification. You have been blacklisted by Wild Waves and cannot visit Wild Waves territory. Please leave within 3 minutes, or else a guild kill order will be activated. Chairman Xia's eyes widened in shock. This blacklisted? Guild kill order? Chairman Xia, leave quickly. Chapter 171. Today, Lu Chen planned to try his luck at the moon-worshipping blood pool. Evolution had always been Lu Chen's most important source of power. However, it seemed that it was very difficult for him to obtain ancient materials at his level. He could only place his hopes on the ancient battlefield. In front of the moon-worshipping blood pool, Lu Chen summoned Xiao Min and Golden Retriever. Golden Retriever, will charge east in a while. Roar. Xiao Min, pay attention to the cooldown of invisibility. Okay, boss. With 320 HP recovery per second, invisibility, and the Monkey King's reverse blood, Lu Chen was still very confident. After Xiao Min completed the possession, Lu Chen stood on Golden Retriever's shoulder with a resolute gaze. He took a deep breath and shouted, Golden Retriever charge. Boom, boom, boom. The huge Golden Retriever charged into the moon-worshipping blood pool. The instant Lu Chen entered the moon-worshipping blood pool, a debuff appeared on his body. He would lose 0.5% of his maximum HP every second. To make matters worse, Lu Chen's maximum HP was now more than 50,000, twice as much as before. Now his HP loss was also higher than before. 250 HP would appear above his head every second. Fortunately, his battle recovery could now make up for the loss of HP. Enemies. A large number of moon-worshipping blood pool disciples began to appear in the surroundings. They immediately emerged from the blood pool. Lu Chen was also a little afraid of these disciples. Their blood poison curses were too terrifying when stacked together. Even if he had a trump card in his hand, Lu Chen could only rush forward. Golden Retriever kept stepping on new maps, but it was still unable to walk out of the blood pool's range. More and more disciples were chasing behind them. There were blood pool skeletons in melee and disciples in ranged. Red blood poison curses crisscrossed as they streaked past Lu Chen. Damn it, where's the entrance to Broken Head Mountain? Lu Chen was also somewhat anxious. He originally didn't want to use invisibility so quickly. He had one more trump card in his hand. If he encountered an unexpected situation, he would have an extra chance of survival. However, there were too many monsters around, and he couldn't find the exit. He had no choice but to use invisibility first. Xiao Min, turn invisible. After becoming invisible, Lu Chen and the Golden Retriever both disappeared. Many of the disciples lost their target, and some of them began to return to their own areas. Lu Chen heaved a sigh of relief. The pressure on him was greatly reduced. Once I enter the blood pool map, I automatically enter combat mode. This is really disgusting. Lu Chen calmed down and walked along the edge of the moon reverence blood pool, trying to find the exit. Half an hour later, Lu Chen finally found a small path covered by red plants in a very hidden forest. There was a stone tablet next to him that was blocked by weeds. Lu Chen pushed aside the weeds and saw the words on it. The path leads to a secluded place. Dismount and head forward. It should be this. Isn't it too secretive? Are they trying to make players lose HP and die in the blood pool? You're still not allowing me to use my mount. Lu Chen looked at the path. It was only 2 or 3 meters wide. The Golden Retriever would not be able to pass through it. Alright, I'll come down. Lu Chen put away the Golden Retriever and stepped onto the path. Not long after entering the path, the blood poison effect on Lu Chen's body finally disappeared. After waiting for a while, Lu Chen finally left combat mode. Taking advantage of this time, Lu Chen quickly sat down to rest. His HP was still full, but his stamina was almost depleted. While resting by the side of the road, Lu Chen could not help but think of the Moon Reverence disciples. Should I get a copy of that technique of theirs? Or maybe fuse with their bloodline and recruit them as my subordinates? Lu Chen looked in the direction of the blood pool and hesitated for a moment. If that blood poison curse technique can be stacked infinitely, then I'll be invincible. Any boss will be dead as long as I have 20 subordinates, and each of them uses a blood poison curse. If Lu Chen really wanted to exchange all his fragments for reputation, he would be able to exchange them for tens of millions of reputation points. It would not be impossible for him to recruit 20 more subordinates. Thinking of this, Lu Chen felt a little tempted. Upgrading an army depends on the number of members. Since I'm going to recruit more, I might as well find a few to test it out. After resting for a while and recovering his stamina, Lu Chen stood up and walked toward the blood pool. Let's exchange 200,000 reputation points first. First Promotion Army Recruitment Order, Individual, upgraded to First Promotion Army Recruitment Order Dual. Army members' maximum HP increased by 10%. Army Recruitment Order, Dual 32441/300, 000, Monster Reputation. Oh, I can get an increase in attributes after upgrading the Army Recruitment Order? Lu Chen was a little surprised. Previously, the Army Recruitment Order had increased the attack of his subordinates by 25%, but that was a qualitative change after all. This time, Lu Chen did not expect any change. However, it seemed that upgrading the Army Recruitment Order could also increase some of his subordinates' abilities. An increase of 10% HP. The attributes increase was quite impressive. What an unexpected gain, Lu Chen said in surprise. Alright, let's see what the attributes of the Moon Reverence disciples are like. Enemy invasion. Prepare for battle. The disciples in the surroundings immediately shouted and gathered more than 10 of their comrades. Lu Chen took advantage of the time when they were summoning the blood skeletons and used Great Ravager to kill 6 or 7 of them. Killed Moon Reverence Disciple, level 35. Obtained 1080 spiritual energy. Obtained 1 stage 3 talent fragment. Obtained 1 3-star evolution point. Killed Moon Reverence Disciple, level 35. Obtained 1080 spiritual energy. Obtained 1 stage 3 talent fragment. Obtained 1 3-star evolution point. The Moon Reverence disciples were very strong, but they were still normal monsters after all. The experience they gave was pitiful, and their loot was also poor. He then used quick movement and rushed to the front of one of the disciples. Tiger descends the mountain. Lu Chen instantly killed 3 or 4 of them before using quick movement and killing his way to the side of the last wave of disciples. Doppelganger. Beside Lu Chen, an illusion that was exactly the same as him quickly appeared. It had the same Monkey King equipment, the same movement speed, attack speed, HP, and the same expression. Lu Chen was also stunned for a moment. He was not used to seeing someone who looked exactly like him in this kind of quantum game. Damn, a doppelganger can really pass off as the real thing. The doppelganger received 50% of Lu Chen's damage and 200% of it, including the percentage of blood poison. Relying on his control, Lu Chen let the illusion take all the damage. The doppelganger had already accumulated 4 blood poison effects, so it would receive 20% of its maximum HP every second. Every time it lost HP, it would receive 10,000 HP. Damn, this kind of damage is really unstoppable. Lu Chen did not dare to waste any more time. He took the opportunity to quickly kill the other 3 disciples, leaving only the last one. There were still 4 blood skeletons left, and Lu Chen quickly killed them. Killed blood skeleton, level 35 summon. Obtained 400 spiritual energy. Obtained 1 stage 2 talent fragment. Obtained 1 2-star evolution point. Obtained 1 blood demon creature soul essence. Killed blood skeleton level 35 summon. Obtained 400 spiritual energy. Obtained 1 stage 2 talent fragment. Obtained 1 2-star evolution point. Obtained 1 blood demon creature soul essence. Unfortunately, Lu Chen did not dare to waste any more time. After silently noting down this point, he quickly killed the remaining 2. Damn, this thing drops soul essences. The doppelganger could not hold on any longer. It turned into smoke and dissipated, and Lu Chen killed the remaining 2 blood skeletons. Facing the last disciple, Lu Chen took out the army order and shouted at the moon-worshipping disciples. Surrender by force. The consciousness of the moon-worshipping disciples has been captured by the blood demon. Unable to recruit. Rumble. At this moment, Lu Chen felt the ground beneath his feet start to shake violently. At the same time, a notification popped up in Lu Chen's system. Activated hidden mission purify the moon-worshipping disciples. He did not have time to think. Only after killing the last disciple did he have the time to look back. Ripples appeared on the calm blood pool as a deep and ancient voice sounded. How dare you purify my disciples? You must be tired of living. Chapter 172. What the hell? Lu Chen's mind spun rapidly. This hidden mission was inexplicably activated by him. It seems like there's some prerequisite mission in other places to obtain some clues and tools to evolve these followers. In the end, when I used force to subdue them, the system thought that I was purifying them. So it activated this mission? It can't be subdued by force. Lu Chen's idea of 20 layers of blood poison was completely destroyed. The voice just now came from the center of the blood pool. At this moment, the ripples in the center of the blood pool became turbulent. In the middle of the blood pool, an island in the middle of the lake appeared. On the island, there was a chaotic teleportation door. The person who spoke is behind that door? Is that a dungeon or a mystic realm? Normally, even if a dungeon was hard to find, the entrance was fixed. Just like the ruins of Fiend City, even if you couldn't enter the dungeon after testing, the entrance to the dungeon was there. However, this entrance had just appeared. The island in the middle of the lake didn't exist before. This feeling was similar to the Yue Mystery Realm. After the server-wide mission, the entrance to the Yue Mystery Realm disappeared. The rewards of a mystic realm were much higher than a dungeon. Oh right, when I went to the Yue Mystery Realm, there was a stone platform in the Mystery Realm. As long as I put some items on it, I could get more similar items. Lu Chen suddenly remembered. Damn, I shouldn't have used all the ancient materials back then, Lu Chen said regretfully. However, Lu Chen thought about it again. Who could guarantee that he would find another mystic realm so soon? He was in urgent need of ancient materials. He couldn't keep them in his backpack to wait for the next mystic realm. Moreover, he couldn't be sure that the island in the middle of the lake was a mystic realm. Server announcement, player Solipsistic, found the Blood Pool Mystery Realm. Congratulations to player Solipsistic for obtaining the title Blood Pool Pioneer. Lu Chen almost spat out a mouthful of blood. The slap to his face came too quickly. Not only was there a system announcement, but he also got another title. He looked at the attributes of Blood Pool Pioneer. It was better than the Yue Pioneer. His basic strength increased by 15%. Alright, now I know you're a secret realm. Another announcement. Speaking of which, Nameless had been in the limelight recently. Ever since Mad God created a solo dungeon, he had disappeared. This time, there would be all kinds of speculations. All the livestream rooms were in an uproar. Have you seen the game announcement? Mad God has found another secret realm. This Mad God is too mysterious. He just created a solo dungeon, and now he's discovered a secret dungeon. Mad God is actually more mysterious than Nameless. And I think Mad God is stronger than Nameless. He's just quietly growing. When Wenqim saw this message, she was so excited that her eyes widened. Mad God! It's Mad God! In the beginning, Wenqim and Mad God had crossed paths several times. Although Mad God gradually disappeared from the top attention with the rise of War God Nameless, Wenqim had always been thinking about Mad God. Previously, the solo dungeon incident gave Wenqim a glimmer of hope that Mad God would return to the public's attention. Unfortunately, Mad God continued to disappear, leaving only the solo dungeon. Every day people queued up to farm experience. Fans were also discussing this matter enthusiastically. I told you, Mad God must still be in the game. Oh right, where is the Blood Pool Secret Realm? What level is the dungeon? War God Nameless equipment is Great Sage equipment. It doesn't feel very compatible. Only Mad God is near the Blood Pool. Oh right, the last time the secret realm appeared, there was a server-wide mission. Is there one this time? As soon as this person finished speaking, Winchim, who was still in the game, received another message. Server-wide mission activated, Blood Demon Invasion. The servers will merge at 3 p.m. This time, all level 10 main cities will be merged. Players will be forced to go offline. The servers will restart in 10 minutes. Countless players accepted the mission unconditionally. Mission, Blood Demon Invasion. Mission description. At 8 p.m. tomorrow, the Blood Demon will lead the moon-worshipping sect to attack level 10 main cities. Players, please be prepared to resist the Blood Demon invasion. Mission content. Survive the attack of the Blood Demon army for 12 hours. This mission has been added to the Prophet's deduction array. Mission difficulty can be calculated. Mission reward. Successfully resist the Blood Demon invasion. All players in the server will receive double rewards for 48 hours, and double the drop rate for 48 hours. If the main city is destroyed, the entire Celestial Mountain main city will disappear forever. What? Winchim looked at the mission description with a shocked expression. That's right, there was another server-wide mission, but this time, it was obviously more terrifying. In the previous missions, the monsters in the secret realm were all hiding in the secret realm. But this time, the blood demons were going to attack the city? This was going to be a head-on battle. The mission reward was so generous. Double EXP and drop rate for 48 hours didn't seem to make people excited. Usually, the more generous the reward, the more difficult the mission. How much was the reward for the US Secret Realm mission? A mere 12 hours of double express and no double drop rate. After failing the mission, the Celestial Mountain main city will disappear forever. Winchim repeated this notification. Without the Celestial Mountain main city, what about the guild territory we built? There's no place to learn skills, no place to buy potions, no place to challenge towers. The importance of the Celestial Mountain main city was self-evident. Once it disappeared forever, it would be devastating for players who didn't have the ability to enter the level 30 map. Oh my god! This mission is too crazy. The main city will disappear forever? Tianqing isn't joking. That's not right. Tomorrow is the 50th day celebration. What the hell is this? What is Solipsistic doing? The local server finally closed the gap. And now this is happening? If the main city is gone, the local server players will be tortured when the Asia server merges. You can't say that. If you were Mad God, you would go and take a look at the secret realm. But Mad God is too aggro-attracting. He doesn't attract the aggro of monsters, but the aggro of Jiutian. He was the one who caused the 2 server-wide missions. Winchim suddenly thought of a problem. She hurriedly gave up on leveling up and returned to the city. She sent a message to her friend, and the two agreed to meet at the Prophet Profession Center. Winchim's friend was a prophet. This profession was currently in an awkward position. It didn't have AoE attacks, and its single target attacks could bully pharmacists. However, pharmacists could heal, and they could become poison masters in the future. Bullying them was only temporary. Prophets couldn't fight, and their abilities were hilarious. They could calculate probability and predict good or bad luck. Currently, there were very few players in Jiutian who could accept missions, and there was nothing that required calculating probability. This made the prophets even more awkward. This made many of the players who had originally come for this mysterious class regret their decision. However, this time, the system announcement made everyone think of the prophets. Shanshan, can you predict the difficulty of this mission? Shanshan frowned. I've already predicted it. What's the result? Soaring blood, 3 stars in a row, extremely ominous. The difficulty of this mission is 5 stars of destruction. Chapter 173. Prophets were considered the smallest group of people out of the 9 major professions. But because of this, the other professions didn't have a profession alliance, but they had one in the forums. Now a large number of players had flooded into the prophets' forums. There was a post at the top of the forums. It was the deduction diagram of the highest level prophet Zhuge for this quest. This diagram showed the deduction results of 6 quests. 5 of them were hidden quests that some players had accidentally encountered, and the difficulty was different. The 5 quests were 1-star lucky. 2-star lucky, 1-star ominous, 2-star ominous, and 1-star blood fiend. Of the 2 missions that were predicted to be good people, the players had successfully completed them and received attractive rewards. 2 ominous signs the players failed the quest. As for the blood fiend, not only did the players fail the quest, but they also lost a piece of equipment. Zhuge Tianwen explained the current celestial phenomena. There should be a lot of people coming to our prophets forums. I will give a unified answer here. Everyone can take a look at this post. Celestial phenomena are the result of us prophets consuming a large amount of spiritual energy. None of you can imagine that I've used up 8 bottles of spirit-gathering pills to predict the invasion of the blood demons. That's why I feel that some prophets are cold and aloof and refuse to help you with the prediction. The cost of the prediction is much higher than you think. Using the system's algorithm, we calculate the final probability of each side's strength. In our deduction diagram, there are a total of 9 celestial phenomena, but currently, we can only deduce 3 types of celestial phenomena. The lucky ones are lucky, the ominous ones are ominous and blood fiend. Among them, the lucky ones are better for individuals, the ominous ones are for players to die, and the blood fiend will not only kill players, but also drop important items. Every celestial phenomenon is divided into 10 stars. The higher the level, the more significant the effect of the celestial phenomenon. For example, the benefits of a 2-star lucky person are much better than a 1-star lucky person, and the death of a 2-star ominous one is more than a 1-star ominous one. The friend of the 2-star ominous one lost a lot of experience and equipment in that quest. Previously, the strongest one was the blood form. Compared to the death form, the blood form is much scarier. It will definitely drop the best equipment on its body and in its bag. This time, the system has added this server-wide mission into our deduction array diagram. However, I've taken a look at it. It's only temporary. After the server-wide mission, we probably still won't be able to deduce the destruction celestial phenomenon. However, using this opportunity, I specially found an external server that had just discovered the Hidden Moon Secret Realm. I went to the external server to deduce the mission of the Hidden Moon Secret Realm, but the result was unable to obtain the corresponding result. Perhaps it was because the external server had only just opened the Hidden Moon Canyon, and everyone's level was very high, so the mission of the Hidden Moon Secret Realm became a lucky sign that I was unable to deduce. Destruction Celestial Phenomenon. The description given on the deduction diagram is Mass Destruction Celestial Phenomenon. A 5-star Destruction Celestial Phenomenon means an extremely severe and destructive attack. Someone asked if the celestial phenomenon that we prophets predict is necessarily accurate. I need to explain that it may be because of the profession level. Our predictions have a certain deviation. The system will give the deviation percentage. At present, the 5 missions that I have predicted myself, the deviation value is about 15%. Fortunately, my predictions were all correct, so I can consider myself lucky. However, perhaps with the help of the system, the results of our predictions this time are unusually accurate. After testing, the deviation value given by the system for this server-wide mission is less than 1%. This time, the group of people could no longer remain calm. There was a 99% chance that it was a 5-star destruction celestial phenomenon. This was almost the verdict for this server-wide mission. It's over, we can't hold on this time. The Wuxia Guild Alliance was holding an emergency meeting in the game. All the guild leaders and managers were asked to be connected to this meeting. Everyone has seen the server-wide mission this time. The few prophets with the highest profession level gave similar results. At present, the most accurate prediction is that there is a 99% chance that we will lose the main city of the Celestial Mountain in the future. The guild leader's tone was somewhat heavy. Everyone fell into silence. If the Celestial Mountain was gone, the guild territory would no longer exist. Their previous efforts would be in vain. Zeus of the gods. Is there really no other way? Isn't there still a 1% chance? Crown Prince. I don't believe it. Now that the players have all leveled up, Even some normal players have entered the main city of the Celestial Mountain. If the main cities of the national server merge, there will be more than 200 million players. So many people can't resist the invasion of the Gore Fiends? Thunderstorm. Actually, I don't really believe it either. No matter what, prophets are actually only one of the 9 professions. Isn't it just some data? How can we take it seriously? ESD Xiao Yaofeng. That may be the case, but if the data is calculated by Tianqing through algorithms, it means that there is some basis for it. TT Li Xuanhuan. I guess that the Blood Pool Secret Realm is very likely to be a level 30 map. If that's the case, there is indeed some difficulty. Celestial Tu Xian Yuan. The Celestial Mountain is a main city after all. It should have its own defense. Moreover, with so many players, I think it's impossible that we can't resist it. The guild chairman's voice sounded. At least many people have not given up hope. This is a good thing. However, we can't let our guard down. Everyone should be familiar with Tianqing's style. Their data analysis ability is definitely top-notch. Therefore, we can't completely ignore the predictions given by the prophets. This server-wide mission coincides with the 50th day celebration. I just received news that Tianqing will not cancel the celebration because of this server-wide mission. They will announce the content of the event at midnight. If the event is attractive, some players might not be interested in the server-wide mission. Also, we must always pay attention to the movements of the foreign servers. We can't rule out the possibility of foreign server teams trying to take advantage of the chaos. In short, tomorrow's Wuxia server will definitely be in chaos. Whether it's for the Wuxia server or for your own guilds, our guilds must take up this responsibility. Last time, we were stopped by teams from many countries. This time we can't do nothing. I hope that everyone will deploy this mission seriously. Even if you have to give it your all, you must stop the Bloodseekers' invasion. After the chairman finished speaking, he suddenly called out a name. Is Wild Wave's Red High Heels guild leader here? Lung Nua was stunned for a moment before answering. I'm here. The chairman said. I wonder if you can contact Nameless, the god of war? For this server-wide mission, if Nameless can help, perhaps our chances of winning will be higher. Lung Nua thought for a moment before saying, we are not a professional team. This meeting is also an invitation. I'm not sure if I can contact the leader, but I'll pass on the message. Alright, thank you. Also, let's have a small meeting with the top 50 professional guilds in the country. Lu Chen looked at the door on the island in the lake and frowned. The Bloodseeker was going to attack the city. Wait, wasn't that what he wanted to do? When the city is attacked, will the Celestial Mountain's mythical beast come out? Lu Chen narrowed his eyes slightly. In other words, his opportunity had come early. Chapter 174. Regardless of whether the Gorfiend's attack was Lu Chen's chance, the appearance of the Blood Pool Secret Realm was definitely his chance. Looking at the entrance to the Secret Realm, Lu Chen narrowed his eyes slightly. It wasn't easy to find a secret realm, an ancient battlefield. The ancient materials must be dropped. After saying that, Lu Chen turned around and walked towards the tree-lined path. At 2:30 p.m. that day, the players from the Wuxia server had stopped trying the dungeons. Everyone was waiting for the server to merge. At 3:00 p.m., the game was disconnected on time. 10 minutes later, the Wuxia server merged again. Hundreds of millions of people in a main city. I doubt it can fit them all. Yeah, we won't even be able to see the monsters by then. I hope we can stop the Gorfiend's invasion. That way, we can get double the rewards for 2 days and level up quickly. Speaking of which, what are the Gorfiends like? Everyone was nervous and looking forward to this full-service mission. 10 minutes later, the game was rebooted. All the level 10 main cities in the Wuxia server merged, and players logged into the game one after another. As soon as they logged into the game, the players were instantly stunned by the scene in front of them. The Celestial Mountain map had changed. It was completely different. The 100 Beast Mountains had been razed to the ground and turned into an open plain. All the dungeons and monsters had temporarily disappeared. The Celestial Mountain main city was more than 5 times larger than before. The huge city was backed by the Celestial Mountain and looked majestic. Is this still the Celestial Mountain main city? Damn, did you guys notice? The guards on the Celestial Mountain have increased by 5 times. I think there are more than 1,000 people. 1,000 level 50 elites. Among them are generals and castellans. They should be stronger. Damn, can the Gorfiends really break through with this lineup? In addition to the map expansion, the number of players here was terrifying. A large number of players were scattered all over the Celestial Mountain and the 100 Beast Mountains. It was a sea of people. Various professional teams were mobilizing the surrounding players to build a defensive net in front of the Celestial Mountain main city. The entire Wuxia server seemed to have entered a state of battle readiness. I suddenly feel a little excited. 10 Steps was following High Heels and the others to deploy the battle line. Seeing this scene, 10 Steps couldn't help but feel excited. In fact, many players had the same thoughts as 10 Steps. In a game, a 100-man battle was already enough to make the players' blood boil, let alone a full server battle. It was too exciting. But according to the Prophet's prediction, this quest is too difficult. If we lose the Celestial Mountain main city in the future, it will have a huge impact on our country's server, Hua Luo said worriedly. What's there to be afraid of? Can't you see how excited the players are? It really feels like a war is about to break out. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the Blood Devil's invasion. Ingjun also said, that's true. I've never encountered such a scene before. Lung Nua frowned. I say, you guys, can you stop chatting? Hurry up and help give orders. There are too many people now. We have to set up our own defense line first. At this moment, the Wuxia server, which had just finished merging servers, released a system announcement. Everyone, please take note. In order to allow players to experience a more realistic beast invasion, players who die in battle during this Bloodseeker invasion event will not be able to revive until the event ends. Fuck. No way. 10 Steps exclaimed. He smiled and shook his head. You only have 1 life. Is Tianqing afraid that we'll survive? Yi also shook her head and said, if you only have 1 life, then the game will be much more difficult. The Wuxia Guild Alliance's official website was constantly releasing messages to guide the players in dealing with this invasion. At the moment, a strategy post was pinned at the top. Strategy post. First of all, we have to make one thing clear. Please stop all internal conflicts. After we survive the Bloodseeker invasion, the guilds and players can play as they like. However, during the server-wide quest, please put down your conflicts and work together to resist the invasion. This server-wide quest was different from the previous one. Last time, the guilds wanted to fight for the Celestial Beast. In fact, there was a very serious conflict of interest. However, this time, everyone's goal was the same, which was to protect the Celestial Mountain Imperial City. The Guild Alliance will set up 60 layers of defense. We have purchased the blueprints for the defensive fortifications and are already building enough defensive fortifications. However, we also know that to resist this invasion, the most important force is not the guilds, but all the players. Please actively join the guilds at the various defense lines. Please also pass this message to each other and inform your friends and companions to join the organization as soon as possible. After the servers are merged, we will establish a new guild. Everyone can choose which defense line to assist according to your own server. We believe that our Wuxia players will definitely be able to resist this invasion. In 12 hours, we will definitely be able to achieve the final victory. The Wuxia server will be victorious. In front of the Celestial Mountain Imperial City, there was a wooden fence every 100 meters. This was the symbol of a defense line. 60 defense lines, each 100 meters long, spanning 6,000 meters. The furthest defense line could not be seen from the city walls of the Celestial Mountain Imperial City. At the same time, the Guild Alliance established a large number of new guilds. These guilds were all temporarily applied and would probably be disbanded in the future. The guilds' names were based on their server numbers, which were very easy to identify. 5 regions formed a defense line. 60 defense lines would resist the Bloodseeker invasion this time. There were still 17 hours from 3 p.m. to 8 a.m. the next day. All the guilds were busy building the defense lines that they were responsible for. There were also people who were responsible for arranging for the casual players and small teams who joined the guild temporarily. Under the guidance of the Guild Alliance, the defense work was being carried out in an orderly manner. Usually, many people would be asleep at this time. However, there were still many people who were awake at midnight today. Today was the 50th day celebration of the Jiutian server. The content of the event would also be announced on this day. In addition, for the Wuxia players, the Bloodseeker invasion would begin at 8 a.m. from the Celestial Mountain Imperial City. This was related to the survival of the Wuxia server. I wonder what kind of event is going to be held. Speaking of which, we have to deal with the Bloodseeker invasion. Do we still have time to participate in the event? Let's wait for the event notification first. When it was 24 a.m., the Jiutian system made a server-wide announcement. Thank you to all the players for your support and love. It has been 50 days since the Nine Heavens domain came online. In order to give back to the players, we will be holding a Jiutian 50th day celebration. Event content. Today, a large number of bosses that only appear in dungeons will be spawned in the wild. At the same time, dungeon experience and drop rates will be preserved. Tianxing Game Company wishes everyone a pleasant gaming experience. Seeing this announcement, many players around the world cheered. The monsters in the dungeon were coming out? Originally, they had to fight a bunch of small monsters before they could fight the final boss. However, now they could directly go and find these monsters. The efficiency of getting equipment had increased by a lot. However, the Wuxia players were dumbfounded. Fuck, what kind of event is this? Fuck, isn't the Bloodseeker invasion not enough? Why are there so many dungeon bosses? It's over. They don't usually organize events like this. But now they're doing it. It's going to be a mess. ESD's Xiao Yaofeng frowned. He said to Glasses beside him. No Glasses, do we Wuxia players have to be so unlucky? Glasses shook his head helplessly. Sai, what can we do? Why don't you go and beat up Solipsistic? Solipsistic? That guy stirred up a hornet's nest. Why hasn't he appeared yet? Chapter 175. The 50th day celebration was very attractive, as they could fight more instance dungeon bosses. In addition, the most important point was that the system announcement mentioned the concept of boss points. Players can obtain boss points corresponding to their level by killing any boss during the 50th day celebration. After the event ends, the name of the event will be determined based on the boss points. The first place of each server will receive our company's self-developed Chameleon Supercar. The 50th day celebration became more and more popular as Skywalker continued to send out system announcements. Chameleon Supercar, that's a man's dream. Have you seen the pictures on the official website? The Chameleon is like a car from the future. It's so cool. But there's only one in each server. It should be very difficult to get first place in the entire server. However, while the players around the world were going crazy, the atmosphere in the Wuxia Guild was different. In the Wuxia Guild Alliance, a few managers were discussing the event. I really have to hand it to them. They actually organized such an event at this time. Isn't this dividing our forces? There should be some players who have already gone to fight for equipment. Yes, to those normal players, they don't really care about the Gorefiend invasion. Moreover, the rewards for this event are very attractive. To some players, the guild doesn't have time to fight the boss. This is their opportunity. Sai, we can't order all the players to defend, but there's one good thing about this event. Players from other servers won't come to our side to cause trouble. Strong organizations will definitely fight for the Chameleon. We can only do our job well and protect the main city of the Celestial Mountain. Otherwise, the Wuxia server will be completely defeated in the future server unification. Lu Chen looked at the 50th day celebration event. Killing bosses to drop equipment, earning boss points. This event is not bad, Lu Chen said happily. He had already made it to Decapitation Mountain. There were many monsters there, and their levels were around 38. However, without the blood poison debuff, He could easily make it through Decapitation Mountain. Lu Chen raised his head and looked at the open map in front of him. This was not a dense forest. There were broken bricks everywhere, ancient stone pillars lying crookedly, and weeds growing all over the ground. This was the ancient battlefield. Lu Chen had been walking around here for a while and found 7 or 8 similar stone pillar ruins. There seemed to be some kind of connection between these ruins. There was a broken altar in the middle of each ruin, but Lu Chen couldn't find any clues to solve the mystery of the stone pillars, even after searching for a long time. However, it seemed that things had taken a turn for the better now. With the 50-day event, Lu Chen did not need to find the instance dungeon. As long as there was an instance dungeon here, the boss inside could respawn in the wild. I hope it's an ancient material. As long as I can get one, I can return to the mystic realm. Lu Chen rode on Golden Retriever and wandered around the ancient battlefield. Speaking of which, the ancient battlefield map was very large. However, even now Lu Chen had yet to discover a single monster. Strange, why hasn't it spawned yet? The event hasn't started yet? Lu Chen wandered back and forth on the map. Time passed by slowly. Lu Chen had already been here for an hour. Let alone a boss. He hadn't even seen a single monster. Forget it. The registration here is probably quite high. Even if it's going to respawn, it'll take some time. Lu Chen thought for a while. He kept Golden Retriever and jumped onto a tree. His vision was better on the tree. He could see 3 or 4 stone pillar ruins at the same time. Xiaomin, help me look out. I'm going to sleep for a while. Wake me up if you find a boss. Okay, boss. Lu Chen leaned against the tree trunk. He didn't expect that not only would he have to sleep in the game, but he would also have to sleep in a tree. This was a rare experience. Just as Lu Chen was preparing to sleep, he opened his mail out of boredom. There were so many messages from strangers that he couldn't even count them. However, there were a few messages from friends that were marked out. Winchim, Mad God, have you been playing recently? I haven't heard from you in a long time. Red High Heels, Guild Master. The Guild Alliance hopes that you can participate in the defense of the Celestial Mountain King City. Lu Chen frowned slightly. That brat Winchim was still thinking about Mad God. Lu Chen was naturally not interested in participating in this server-wide quest. To be precise, even if he wanted to participate, he wouldn't be on the defense side. Lu Chen shook his head. He replied to Winchim and told her that he was still playing. After that, he replied to Lung Nua's email. There were only 3 words in the email: not participating. After closing the email system, Lu Chen looked at the stone pillars and thought, could it be that a dungeon that I haven't been to won't spawn a boss? I should have let Rhubarb take a look. Forget it. I'm sleepy. I'll think about it after I sleep. When a small team of players was the first to kill a Shadow Tempest Tiger, the boss leaderboard appeared in the Wuxia server. Regardless of whether it was for equipment, experience points, or the final event reward, many players were killing the boss like crazy. The rankings on the leaderboard were changing almost every minute. The competition between players was very intense. Until 7:50 in the morning, the first place on the leaderboard, Taiyao Imperial Sky, had a total of 1,433 boss points. It was only 2 points higher than the second place, Wisdom Net Duanyu. At this time, there were only 10 minutes left before the Gorefiend invasion. The number of online players in the local server began to rise. A large number of players flooded the server, preparing to deal with this 5-star annihilation level invasion. At 7:58, most of the players had gathered outside the Celestial Mountain main city, within the 6,000-meter defense line. Of course, there were still some players who were trying to fight for the boss. At 8 o'clock, the Wuxia server made a red-lettered announcement. The Gorefiend army is marching towards the Celestial Mountain main city. Even the players who were still fighting the boss reluctantly returned. After all, during the Gorefiend invasion, players only had one life. Once they died, they would have to wait for 12 hours. At this time, except for some players who were not very smart, no one dared to stay outside. On the other hand, because the Celestial Mountain defense line was too large, Many players at the back chose to watch the situation at the front line through live streaming. A originally unknown live streaming channel, Luola's live streaming channel, because she was at the 5th defense line and could see the situation at the front line, suddenly became the most popular channel on the official website. In less than 10 minutes, the sky in the distance suddenly changed color. It turned into a blood-red color. What's that? Is it an army of monsters? I don't think so. It's fog. Fuck, don't tell me it's the same fog as the fog forest? Gradually, the sky above everyone's head turned red. The entire world was shrouded in a red bloody mist. Suddenly, a player in the front row exclaimed loudly, "Damn, what kind of debuff is this? 0.5% of my maximum HP every second." You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support. And don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.